Good morning, everyone. How are you? Good, good, good. I see a couple of you have joined. Good to see you guys joining early in the morning, at least on time. Awesome. Hey, Isha. Isha has a question. What is joint life policy and separate life policy and treatment related same in case of partnership firm? Why is that a concern? Is that part of the syllabus, Isha, or beyond syllabus, your curiosity? Joint life policy and separate life policy under Partnership Act or in partnership firm? That's an interesting question, but is that part of the syllabus? Hey, Kusuma is there, Keshav. Hi, Keshav, Avdesh, Gunjan, Saurabh is there, Ishan, I see Shalini, Sanjay, Sudhanshu, Himanshu is there. Difference between business, firm, enterprise, and organization and company, it's all the same, Himanshu. It's all the same, right? It's just different words for the same thing. Essentially, for you at this point in time, it means exactly the same. An organization, a business corporation, a business firm, enterprise, all mean the same. Okay, cool. I'm good, Smriti. I'm happy that you have revised everything. That is good to know. Not an issue. Good that you're here. Hey, Soumya, Sahil, Devesh is there, Sidra, Rekha, Garija is there, Anand Kumar. Hi, Anand. Hey, Barkatullah, Bhavna, Jyoti, Zeba is there, Sarvas. Good, good, good. Happy Sunday to you as well, Abhinav. Anchal, Vagdevi, Rohini is there, Manvi, Nitil is there, Asha, I see. Very good morning, Asha. Joint life policy and account syllabus. That is right, Devesh. Okay. In partnership firm, for partners, it will be different. I'm just giving you an insight. For every partner, it will be different. Why it will be there. And partnership cannot have a life policy, right? Separate legal entity नहीं है, तो उसकी एक separate life policy कैसे होगी? Okay. Far reaching impact, Abhinav, हर टाइप की कंपनी को वो इम्पैक्ट करता है. I've repeated that 10 times in the last session. Good morning, Shruti. Hey, Radhika, how are you? Far reaching impact, irrespective of the size, irrespective of सबसे बड़ी कंपनी है, सबसे छोटी कंपनी है, हर साइज की कंपनी को बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट इम्पैक्ट करता है, एंड दैट इज फार रीचिंग इम्पैक्ट. Gunjan, super easy English. What is reality by सच का सामना? You guys have to work really hard on vocabulary. I'll be honest with you guys. बहुत बहुत जरूरत है vocabulary पे काम करने की, and it is the right time. You're in foundation. अभी 4 से 5 साल हैं चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंसी कोर्स के आपके पास. Work on your vocabulary. Professional life में, if you do not have a good vocabulary, it will become difficult, right? So it's a good sign कि आप लोग को पता चल रहा है कि हाँ जरूरत है थोड़ी सी vocabulary. You guys know English. You guys know how to read English. You guys know how to write English. It's just about adding some really really important and daily use के words को add करो, right? And you will be super. Sure, Smriti, we will do third chapter today. I'll tell you some tricks. I have some tricks कि chapter 3 को कैसे पढ़ना होता है. Okay, based on my experience from the last couple of sessions I've taken, right? For the last 3-4 attempts I've taken these sessions, and I have some tricks for you. We'll discuss that today. आज बात करेंगे chapter 3 के ऊपर भी. Hey Sanchita Ustad, good morning Shivangi, Khushi, Kriti is there, Priyadarshini is there. Cool. Ronit, Harshit. Reliance has its own intermediaries. Absolutely yes, Devesh, it has. It's such a big company, it has its own intermediaries. Zeba, what is interaction process? बात करने का process. Zeba, interaction process. Again, super important, easy English words. I do not want you guys to probably ask English इतने simple words, right? You'll have to work on that. I'm being honest with you, not being harsh or strict. I'm just as a friend telling you कि जरूरत है इंग्लिश वोकैबुलरी थोड़ी सी स्ट्रॉन्ग कर लो दोस्त, मदद मिलेगी. अदरवाइज इट विल बी डिफिकल्ट. Awesome पूजा जी. रिवाइज्ड ऑल द कॉन्सेप्ट्स एंड चैप्टर 1 और चैप्टर 2 की पीपीटीज मैंने अपलोड कर दी हैं. should be there on the portal. You can go and download after the session. ठीक है, चैप्टर 1 और 2 मैंने दोनों अपलोड कर दिए हैं. Absolutely. All people are enjoying the Sunday while just studying, and this is going to count for your future for sure. Yes. कंपटीशन इतना है दोस्त. 1.5 बिलियन 150 करोड़ इंडियन है हम लोग, जिसमें से 65-70% जनता इज यंग इंडियंस, योर एज माई एज. कंपटीशन ही इतना है. 60, इवन इफ आई एम टेकिंग मिनिमम 60% ऑफ 150 करोड़, कितने लोग होते हैं पता है? 90 करोड़, 90 करोड़ लोग से compete कर रहे हो आप, तो थोड़ी मेहनत तो लगेगी. That is so good, Samir. You've started talking in English with your younger sister. Super good. That's like one of the best things you can do for yourself and your sister. Right? Good. Hi, Vinodini. How are you? What is ethnic mix? आएंगे उस पे. Ethnic mix तो अभी आना है macro में. मानवी always one step ahead. मानवी थोड़ा सा रुक के चलेंगे, सबके साथ चलेंगे. अपलोड कर दिया है नोट्स. नॉट अपलोडेड. आई हैव अपलोडेड प्रोबेबली 30-40 मिनट्स दो उसको रिफ्रेश होने में. राइट अभी वो रिफ्रेश होगा आई थिंक 12-12:30 बजे. सो यू विल सी दैट. पास्ट क्वेश्चन पेपर्स आर नॉट अवेलेबल ऑन आईसीआई ऐप. ऐप पे नहीं होगा तो कंप्यूटर से पीडीएफ ले लो. किसी फ्रेंड को बोल दो. इफ यू डोंट हैव एक्सेस टू लैपटॉप, आस्क एनी ऑफ योर फ्रेंड्स टू डाउनलोड इट फ्रॉम द वेबसाइट एंड व्हाट्सएप पे आपके साथ शेयर कर देगा पीडीएफ और कर देंगे आपके साथ. करेक्ट. दैट शुड ऑल्सो वर्क. अगर ऐप में नहीं है तो वेबसाइट से कर लो. Payment interfaces like Paytm, PhonePe display so many segments to pay for varying services. Do they pay substantial commission? I'm not very sure, but yes, they do. Right? That's something you can read on Google. More insight ki kitna commission hai. But obviously, तभी तो company चल रही है. Free में कौन काम करता है? Hey, good morning, Sonali. Rajiv is there. Good. पेरीफेरी क्या होता है? लक्षिता's क्वेश्चन इज पेरीफेरी. पेरीफेरी मींस आसपास की चीजें. पेरीफेरी होता है. पेरीफेरल आपने ज्योमेट्री पढ़ी होगी 10th में. राइट. पेरीफेरल होता है सर्कल का सर्कमफ्रेंस होता है, रेडियस, डायमीटर, सर्कमफ्रेंस एंड पेरीफेरल्स आसपास की चीजें. नॉट श्योर हर्षित, गूगल करना पड़ेगा डोनेशन के ऊपर तो आपको. नॉट वेरी श्योर. राइट. तो पेपर 4 में आपको आरटीपीज भी मिलेंगे, आपको मॉक टेस्ट भी मिलेंगे, आपको क्वेश्चन बैंक्स भी मिलेंगे. वहां से जाओ. राइट. go and read those resources. You will see your mock test papers, RTPs, question banks. करो वो सब. Cool. We'll just spend last 30 seconds just to so that I do not leave out anyone who has some doubts or questions, and then we'll straightforward get into where we left off. चैप्टर नंबर 2 माइक्रो एनवायरनमेंट हमने कर लिया था पूरा. राइट. आज हम मैक्रो एनवायरनमेंट फटाफट से करेंगे एंड देन विल जंप इनटू चैप्टर नंबर 3. आई विल टेल यू सम वेरी वेरी इजी एंड इंपॉर्टेंट ट्रिक्स ऑफ चैप्टर 3 कि यार याद कैसे रखना है, पढ़ना क्या है. चैप्टर 3 इतना बड़ा है, इतनी सारी कंपनीज के नाम दे दिए, भैया पढ़ना कैसे है आज वो भी डिस्कस करेंगे. इट्स सुपर इजी, सुपर सिंपल. अभी यू विल गेट दोस ट्रिक्स एंड यू बी लाइक बॉस इतना सिंपल बताओ. दिवेश गूगल करना पड़ेगा दोस्त. पेटीएम क्यों पैसे चार्ज कर रहा है? आई एम नॉट द ओनर ऑफ पेटीएम, आई डोंट नो. लास्ट के देख लो राहुल, आपको मिल जाएगा. थोड़ा गूगल सर्च भी करो. यू विल फाइंड सम पेपर्स, यू विल फाइंड सम मॉक्स. गुंजन, वेयर आर यू कमिंग फ्रॉम? हाउ रिलीजियस गुरुज इन्फ्लुएंस डिमांड ऑफ कोका कोला. कहाँ पढ़ा आपने ये? आई एम नॉट वेरी श्योर. या तो मैंने स्टडी मटेरियल ध्यान से नहीं पढ़ा, उसमें एग्जाम्पल है तो. आई एम नॉट स्टडीड दिस. लाइक हाउ आर रिलीजियस गुरुज इन्फ्लुएंसिंग डिमांड ऑफ कोका कोला. किधर लिखा है ये? Okay, awesome. Atharva, you on LinkedIn, super good. Start building your network. It's amazing. Hey, Shay, thank you. Is study material RTP-MT enough for other reference book? It is enough, Vagdevi. Study material, mock test papers, RTPs, enough. It's more than enough. And you are in these classes. और कितना पढ़ोगे यार, मैं स्टूडेंट होता मैं तो इतना कुछ भी नहीं करता, बट आई एम स्टिल अब इस पोजीशन में आके आई एम गिविंग यू सो मच ज्ञान कि अरे स्टडी मटेरियल भी करो, एमटीबी भी करो, आरटीबी भी करो. द क्रक्स इज find time to do the more value addition things and which is more solving more questions. आपको जहां से questions मिले, मॉक टेस्ट पेपर से मिलते हैं वहां से करो, आरटीपी से मिलते हैं वहां से करो, स्टडी मटेरियल में क्वेश्चंस है वहां से करो. यू हैव डाउट्स, आस्क मी इन दीज क्लासेस. टाइम इतना कम होता है एज ए स्टूडेंट. अब इन कमिंग इन दिस पोजिशन आई एम गिविंग यू सो मच ज्ञान, ये कर लो वो कर लो वो कर लो. एज ए स्टूडेंट आई नो इतना टाइम नहीं होता है, राइट. आई एम बीइंग ऑनेस्ट विद यू, आई एम बीइंग प्रैक्टिकल विद यू. इतना टाइम होता ही नहीं है कि ये सब करो. सो find what makes sense to you, like what gives you confidence to go to an examination hall. Okay, you have to find yourself what gives you confidence to sit in an examination. Solving questions gives you confidence, solve questions. Reading the study material gives you confidence that ठीक है मुझे कॉन्सेप्ट आता है, मैंने स्टडी मटेरियल पूरा समझ लिया है, आई नो द कॉन्सेप्ट्स, आई कैन गो एंड आंसर. डू दैट. Find what gives you confidence to go to the examination hall for any exam. That is the crux. सब कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं होती है. I'm just giving you options. ठीक है. Figure out what helps you the most, and that is what. And essentially help का क्या मतलब हुआ? That builds confidence आपके मन में. इस सब्जेक्ट के लिए डर निकल जाएगा. इस सब्जेक्ट का डर निकालोगे, एग्जाम 100% पास कर लोगे. एनी सब्जेक्ट, अकाउंट्स, ऑडिट, कोई सब्जेक्ट उठा लो, उसका जब डर निकल जाएगा, दैट मीन्स यू हैव प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दैट सब्जेक्ट. डर कैसे निकालना है वो आपको पता है, राइट. एग्जाम क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने के डर निकलता है, एग्जाम क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो. यू वांट टू स्टडी द स्टडी मटेरियल एंड लाइक रिमूव योर फियर ऑफ द सब्जेक्ट. डिपेंड्स ऑन यू, राइट, पर्सन टू पर्सन. Awesome, Asha. I'm happy that you're not bored in my classes. I'm also not bored in my classes. Thank you. Cool. Okay, reality bite mo. You're talking about the reality bite in page 2.9. Got it. So Coca-Cola affected by religious gurus. Essentially, the example was religious gurus are talking about not using foreign products. And एक example Coca-Cola का आ गया कि it is unhealthy. आप देसी लस्सी पियो, ये सब पियो, right? So that is an example that was given. Okay, I got you where you're coming from. Cool. Let's get into our syllabus now. The chat should stop. It's not mandatory, MTP, RTP, it is suggested, right? अच्छा है कर लोगे तो कोई जबरदस्ती पकड़ के करवाएगा नहीं आपको. Okay. Anticipate and forecast are the same almost. Cool. Let's get into the syllabus and stop the chat box for the next 3-4 minutes, 5 minutes, and let us focus on these topics. We talked about macro environment, दोस्त, ठीक है. माइक्रो के बारे में हमने कल पढ़ा था, जिसके अंदर वी स्टडीड अबाउट कस्टमर्स, वी स्टडीड अबाउट कंपेटिटर्स, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, मार्केट, सप्लायर्स एंड इंटरमीडियरीज. In 6 components of microenvironment is what we studied on. Today we are going to touch upon the second external environment component, which is macro environment. Acha. Macro environment we'll talk about demographic, political, economic, social, technological, government, legal and global. ठीक है. इन सब चीजों के बारे में पढ़ेंगे, फटाफट से पढ़ेंगे, फटाफट से समझेंगे. वेरी सिंपल, कॉमन सेंस, बेसिक लॉजिक. थिंक लाइक अ बिजनेस पर्सन एंड दिस बिकम्स सुपर डुपर इजी. ठीक है. सबसे पहले चलते हैं डेमोग्राफिक के ऊपर. डेमोग्राफिक क्या चीज है? व्हाट इज द डेमोग्राफिक कंपोनेंट? व्हाट इज द डेमोग्राफिक कंपोनेंट ऑफ मैक्रो एनवायरनमेंट? डेमोग्राफिक मींस रिलेटिंग टू अ स्ट्रक्चर. डेमोग्राफ, उस चीज का स्ट्रक्चर कैसे है, उसको बोलते हैं डेमोग्राफिक. एंड टू मेक इट मोर सिंपल, कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ एन एरिया इज कॉल्ड डेमोग्राफिक. बन गया सिंपल. कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन ऑफ एन एरिया becomes its demographic. Okay, now here is a question for you. Let me ask a very simple question for you. The demographic of your area, let me talk about the demographic of whatever area you live in. Are there more men or are there more women? आप जिस लोकेलिटी में, आप जिस शहर में, आप किसी एरिया में रहते हो या आप किसी शहर की बात कर रहे हो, you want to talk about your city, you want to talk about your own locality or society. what are the demographics in terms of gender? Are there more men or are there more women? Tell me quickly. Are there more women in your area or are there more men in your area? 50-50. That's a great thing, Ronit. 50-50. That's a great ratio to be in. What about others? Are there more men or are there more women in your area, locality, shahar, city, wherever you live? More females, almost equal, right? You don't know, almost same. Men more men, more women. Okay, more men, almost equal. Average of both, more male, more men, more women. Okay, equal. Most men, women are more, men equal. Awesome. This is demographic of your area. This is demographic of your area. That means on the gender level, this is how the structure of the population in your area is. That means think from a business perspective. भैया धंधे की तरफ से सोचो. If there are more men in your area, okay, if there are more men in your area, the kind of shops, the kind of businesses that will thrive more in your area are more men centric. ठीक है. लड़के लोग जो ज्यादा सामान खरीदते हैं, there will be more motorcycle showrooms, there will be more scooter showrooms if there are more boys and men in your area, right? That happens. If there are more women in your area, you will see shops are more around saris and kapde, and all these jewelry shops are more, or more jewelers are in that area. More bigger brands of saris and clothes are there, right? That happens because they understand, the business understands कि अच्छा यहाँ पे ये टाइप के लोग ज्यादा रहते हैं, ज्यादा लड़कियां रहती हैं, ज्यादा लड़के रहते हैं, right? In that particular area, that happens. And this is how the macro environment of any business decides the business opportunity. It's the business cannot control. A business cannot control this. Think from this perspective. It is an external macro. Business तो कुछ नहीं कर सकता है इसके बारे में. The business cannot control these factors. The macro environment factors control ही नहीं कर सकता है. Right now, business cannot say कि अरे नहीं आप इस locality में लड़के ज्यादा कर दो. They can't control that, right? या इस locality में लड़कियां ज्यादा कर दो. They can't control that. Okay, so these are demographics, characteristics of population. I've given you just one example of gender. ऐसे economy, employment status, money, income, education, age, gender, सब चीज के ऊपर हो सकता है, right? Now think about this. In certain areas जहाँ पे ज्यादा students रहते हैं, right? There will be areas like Kota in Rajasthan or Lakshmi Nagar in Delhi, or some Bhawanipur probably in Kolkata, right? Or in Bangalore there are colleges. In Pune there is this FC Road, correct? Ferguson College Road. In Mumbai you have some student areas near all those colleges, Jai Hind College and all these colleges. That happens. The area where the age of the population is very less, let's say 17-18 साल के बच्चे हैं, 20-21 साल के लोग हैं, all students are there. That is a demographic of the area. वहां पे you will see a lot of fast food joints. वड़ा पाव वाला है, छोले भटूरे वाला है, पाव भाजी वाला है, right? चाट पापड़ी है, समोसा, जलेबी, ये जूस बिक रहे हैं. All these shops are there, panwadis are there. That happens. स्कूलों के पास, every school has some panwadi or some fast food shop very near. कुलचा मिल रहा है, पैटी मिल रही है, आइसक्रीम मिल रही है, right? These are demographics. आपके स्कूल के बाद, if you remember your school days, after school they were like आइसक्रीम वाले सारे 10-15 आइसक्रीम वाले खड़े हो जाते थे, भेलपुड़ी वाले स्कूल के जब छुट्टी होती थी, right? Whenever you used to exit school, when the school got over, all these ice cream stalls, bhelpuri stalls used to come and stand outside school, right? Why? Because they understood the population of the area. That was the demographic of the area. कि अच्छा यहाँ पे students आ रहे हैं, इनको हम सामान बेच सकते हैं instantly, right? This is demographic. Understanding the population, age, gender, income, education, race, XYZ, employment status, right? ये है, that is what you do. अब गांव में जाके मैं फरारी का शोरूम खोल दूं, doesn't make sense. I go to some offbeat village in Orissa, right? If I go to 100 kilometers away from Bhubaneswar और वहां जाके I open a BMW का showroom, कौन खरीदेगा? कोई नहीं खरीदेगा. But if I open a BMW showroom in let's say South Bombay or in South Delhi or in Central Delhi or somewhere in high-end areas of any city, right? Be it Nagpur, Pune, or be it Kolkata, right? अलीपुर में जाके खोल दूं मैं. It will make sense. It will make sense. पंजाब में खोल दूं मैं, right? Some Patiala or Ludhiana where there are more affluent people, where the income sources are very high. People are rich. वहां पे मैं जाके BMW का शोरूम खोलूंगा, right? भुवनेश्वर से 100 किलोमीटर दूर जाके थोड़ी ना खोल दूंगा, correct? So this is understanding the demographics which are beyond the control. अब वो control नहीं कर सकता business. It can only understand and then adapt to it. Okay. A business should study demographics for two things. Number one, how will demographics affect the market size of the industry? And number two, what opportunities or threats does demographic represent to them? Simple है, right? उनको समझना है. They have to understand the demographics of the place they have or the business, the place they are working in, and then they have to decide what kind of opportunities they can create, what are the threats they can have from this demographic, and how big the market size is, right? How big the market size is. वो भी उसको हेल्प करता है समझने में डेमोग्राफिक, राइट? इफ द जेंडर इज लाइक 50-50 रेशो है, तो अगर मैं साड़ी की दुकान खोलूंगा तो आई कैन ओनली केटर टू 50% ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन इन द एरिया, राइट? नाउ थिंक अबाउट दिस. यू आर अ शॉप which is selling sarees, and in the area where you're selling sarees 50-50 है मेल फीमेल की रेशो. दैट मीन्स अगर वहां पे 1 लाख लोग रहते हैं, you can only cater to 50,000 people. You have to understand that, right? अंकलों को, लड़कों को थोड़ी ना आप साड़ी बेच सकते हो. Essentially 1 लाख लोगों में से सीधा आपकी मार्केट 50% रह गई, right? The demographics will affect the market size and they have to understand that. उनको समझना है कि what kind of business we want to do and what is the market size based on the demographics. Okay. What is panwadi? The pan shops. Okay. Probably in North India we call them panwadis. The pan shops, right? Small kiosks you have for who sell pan and all these ice creams and chips and Pepsis, right? Absolutely. Sudhanshu, you also got what panwadi is. I think that's more of a North Indian thing or Delhi thing that we call. तो एक नया वर्ड सीख लिया आज आपने मेरे से. वेरी गुड. एक दिल्ली का वर्ड सीख लिया आपने मेरे से. Now you can also say आप दिल्ली वाले हो. What kind of threats? Why not? So let's say demographics change हो रहे हैं. Okay, great point there, Khushi. What kind of threats will someone in the demographic represent? Now think about this. Okay, you are a business. So let's say मैं एक locality में stationery shop है. very classic example देता हूँ. You will connect to it. Okay, मैं एक stationery shop owner हूँ. मेरी एक stationery shop है. I used to sell notebooks, pens, paint brush, सब सामान stationery का I used to sell. And I had a very excellent business because I started this 15 years back, and there were all the new societies around me. सारी new high-rise societies बनी थी अभी. Let's say I'm a stationery shop somewhere in Hinjewadi near Pune, right? Which is an IT park. पुणे से 20 किलोमीटर दूर है, जहाँ पे सब नए लोग बस रहे थे. There were new cities that were being developed. Everyone from across the country was coming there for work, and everyone was young. Everyone had small kids. All the families had small kids 15 years back. And I had a stationery shop. 15 years tak, I was the only stationery shop providing stationery goods to all the 500 families in the societies. See how rich I was. Okay. 15 years later, all these kids do not need stationery anymore. सारे बच्चे बड़े हो गए हैं, right? सब लोग अब कॉलेज जा रहे हैं, सिटी छोड़ के जा रहे हैं. All the elderly people are only left in the society. The demographics change of a particular place. Now, unless I as a business person understand this, कि यार environment change हो रहा है, demographics change हो रहे हैं, कोई stationery नहीं खरीदने वाला है. I will have to change with time. I will have to change my business with time. Probably I can now become a general store. I can become a chemist. कि सब लोग अब बुजुर्ग हो रहे हैं. People will need medicines, right? They are staying alone. I can actually become a chemist and do my business. That will be a good business. You have to change with time, right? Real life example. This is what understanding demographics at the grassroots level. हर चीज Apple, Samsung, HCL, HP, Wipro के level से समझोगे समझ नहीं आएगा. You have to get down to real businesses of India, and all of these things are happening. Okay, cool. For example, there are shops of Pagadi in Gumti 5 in Kanpur because most Sikhs reside there. Absolutely right. Where more Sikh people are resided, there are gurudwaras. You will see shops of kadas and pagdis and all those things and cloth, right? ये demographic समझना है. Right? You have to understand the demographic. You're right. New children may come. What if they're not coming, खुशी? नहीं आ रहे लोग. पुराने लोग ही रह रहे हैं. नए बच्चे नहीं हो रहे. क्या करोगे आप? नहीं आ रहे नए लोग वहां पे रहने. जो लोग हैं वहीं पे रह रहे हैं. Anything can happen. I'm just giving you an example. हो सकता है आ जाए नए बच्चे, तब भी ठीक है. Then it will not be a threat. Simple. Absolutely. Where there is demand, start your business there. You can sell something that both men and women can buy, like a stationery or a cloth or general store. आटा, चावल, दाल तो सबको चाहिए, right? ठीक है. You understand demographics. Let's go to a question. Okay. Let's see how much you know about the world. देखते हैं दुनिया के बारे में किसको पता है सबसे ज्यादा. Based on demographic understanding, which of the following countries would be more suitable to sell old age people related products and services? Based on demographic understanding, which of the following countries would be more suitable to sell old age people related products and services? फटाफट से बता दो मुझे. फटाफट से. Japan, 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 China, 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 India, China, India, Japan, India, China, China, China. और China के बड़े आंसर आ रहे हैं. Japan, Japan. A lot of you saying Japan. Let's see. Let's wait for another 5 more seconds. Quickly, everyone who is active on the chat, please answer. This is only to help you guys. मुझे तो आंसर्स आते दोस्त. मैंने ही बनाए हैं. Awesome, 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 awesome. Perfect. The answer is Japan. क्यों? As the maximum number of old age people in the world reside in Japan. Japan में सबसे ज्यादा बुजुर्ग लोग रहते हैं. The maximum number of old age people reside in Japan. So demographically, the most suitable place to sell old age people related products is Japan. Okay. Perfect. Let's go to the next one. Understanding certain demographic characteristics in brief. Population का size. हमको पता ही है. ये समझाने की जरूरत है. I don't think so. ये समझाने की जरूरत है. The size of the population. 150 करोड़ लोग हैं. 80 crore females, 80 crore males. ठीक है. You don't need to understand population size. You understand geographical distribution. कितने लोग शहर में रहते हैं, कितने लोग गांव में रहते हैं, कितने लोग मेट्रोपॉलिटन सिटीज में रहते हैं. Understanding that is also important. How many people live in urban cities? How many people are still living in rural areas? How many people are living in metropolitan cities of Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Kolkata, right? Hyderabad, Pune. कहाँ रह रहे हैं लोग? कहाँ रह रहे हैं? Now Indore is coming up as a metropolitan city. Then Surat is coming up as a metropolitan city. New smart cities. Now Ayodhya बना रहे हैं ये लोग. Correct? Varanasi is coming as a smart city. Metropolitan city बना रहे हैं. So these geographical distributions, the business needs to understand. What is the distribution? बटी कैसे हुई है पूरी जनता मेरे देश की, मेरे शहर की. The people who I have to sell my goods and services to, how are they divided? who lives where, what are they doing, will they buy my product, why will they buy my product, why do they need my product, सब answers यहाँ से मिल जाएंगे, right? Ethnic mix. This is a question that you were asking. Ethnic mix. Ethnic mix means more based on religion and preferences. Not just religion, but also based on preferences. Ethnic mix का मतलब होता है more diverse the demographic, more inclusive and potential the market is. Right? For example, if someone opens a meat shop in a Hindu area, they might not be very profitable because a lot of Hindu people do not eat meat, right? Simple logic hai business ka dost, right? It is not to be connected with religion. It is more to be connected with preference. कि वहां के ethnic mix, that means what are the preferences, be it religious preferences, be it spiritual preferences, be it eating habits or eating preferences, be it whatever, क्या भी preference है वहां के लोगों की, people in your locality, in your area, in your market, in places where you are selling, not just the area but everywhere you are selling, वहां का ethnic mix क्या है. Okay, for example, एक और example देता हूँ. You must have seen McDonald's started masala dosa burger. Okay, now they said आलू टिक्की burger, chicken McGrill में green चटनी डालते हैं वो लोग. ओके, पनीर स्पाइसी बर्गर, ये सारे आपको यूएस में नहीं मिलेंगे. यू विल नॉट फाइंड दीज मैकडोनल्ड बर्गर्स इन यूएस और यूरोप और चाइना और जापान में आपको ये सब नहीं मिलेगा. ये सिर्फ इंडिया में मिलता है बिकॉज दे हैव अंडरस्टूड द प्रेफरेंस ऑफ पीपल कि यहाँ के लोगों को पनीर का पकौड़ा चाहिए भाई, पनीर डाल दो बर्गर के अंदर, लोग खुश हो जाएंगे. मसाला डोसा फ्लेवर निकालो, chili paneer nikalo, right? Then get these things. Now Domino's is doing that. Butter chicken pizza, paneer tikka pizza, right? Why? Because they are understanding the preferences, the ethnic mix of people. What are the preferences of people, and uske hisab se they are building their businesses. Demographic, लोगों को समझ रहे हैं, right? Income distribution. I've given you example, right? Ferrari, Audi ka showroom will be more profitable, will be the more relevant in Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, where people have money. Selling it in a गांव in UP, right? अगर मैं मुजफ्फरपुर से 50 किलोमीटर आगे गांव में जाके ऑडी का शोरूम खोल दूं, हो सकता है एक दो जमींदार, एक दो सरपंच खरीद लें, बस 5 गाड़ी थोड़ी ना बेचनी है मुझे. Like, I don't want to just sell to 5 people. वो तो आके किसी शहर से भी ले लेंगे, दिल्ली से आके ले लेंगे वो तो, right? So understanding the income distribution of the demographic of the population is equally important, right? नहीं सुधांशु, metropolitan area is where people from across the country come and live together. उसको बोलते हैं metropolitan area. Paratha pizza by Domino's, that is right. Absolutely, Avinash. Like different religions have different preferences of eating, drinking. उसके हिसाब से आपको अपना business चलाना चाहिए, right? Greater the population, greater will be the demand. That is absolutely right. तभी तो इंडिया इतनी बड़ी market है for the world. Cool. That is demographic, my friends. Let's get to the next topic, which is economic. ठीक है, इसको बहुत ध्यान से समझेंगे. There are some certain technical terms and economic factors. Very carefully, chat box से हटके, let us understand economic factors of macro environment. Okay, economic environment can be best understood with 2 aspects. Number 1, purchasing strength of the market. Number 2, credit and capital availability for growth. नीचे इनका example, I've just given simplified these things यहाँ पे, which means more purchasing power means it is easier to sell. अगर लोगों के पास खरीदने की क्षमता ज्यादा है, if people have more purchasing power, that means it is easier to sell to them. Okay, credit availability for growth. Easier it is to get the credit. बैंक में जाके फटाफट से लोन मिल जाता है. That means the economic condition of the country is favorable for the business. Macro environment है, external environment है, macro environment है, which is common for every business. Micro environment specific to your business, macro environment. It is common for all businesses, be it demographic, be it economic, be it political, legal, be it social, cultural, be it technological, be it global. It is same for everyone, right? Macro environment is common for every business across the industries. सबके लिए same है. Purchasing strength of the market. India में purchasing strength बढ़ रही है. People have now started wearing shoes which are 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees. आपके बचपन में I'm pretty sure you don't remember people buying shoes which are 4,000, 5,000 rupees के shoes for the gym or sneakers जो 7-8 हजार रुपए के हैं. Now the purchasing power of the country is increasing. People have the money, right? People have the money. We are talking about the entire economy. That is right, Lakshita. We're talking about the entire economy here. Okay. Purchasing strength, the more the power people have to purchase things, the easier it is to sell. The easier it is to get credit from the banks, the easier it is to grow your business. अगर बैंक बहुत आसानी से आपको लोन्स दे रहे हैं, आपको इन्वेस्टर से पैसा बहुत आसानी से मिल रहा है देश में, तो आपके लिए तो बिजनेस ग्रो करना इज रिलेटिवली वेरी सिंपल. आपको पैसा मार्केट से मिल जाता है. यू जस्ट हैव टू ग्रो, स्ट्रेटेजाइज योर बिजनेस, राइट? दैट इज इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर्स ऑफ मैक्रो एनवायरनमेंट. टू थिंग्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट है. Now, there are three concepts within economic environment, which are economic systems, economic conditions, and economic policies, which are beyond the control of the business because these are macro environment. But these are three concepts within economic environment which a business needs to understand, which a business needs to be aware of. Okay, the business needs to be aware of these factors. The business needs to understand these factors from an overall country perspective, right? Macro and micro environment were also in business economics. Okay, they were there. So awesome. You guys know this then. A boom in purchasing power leads business to diversify segments and grow. That is right, Harshit. Okay. So three concepts of economic environment, economic systems, economic conditions, and economic policies. Let us get into understand economic systems. Economic systems तीन टाइप के होते हैं. Okay, तीन टाइप के economic systems होते हैं. Let me quickly ask you, इंडिया का कौन सा economic system है? You have studied this in class 11th and 12th. Economic system इंडिया का कौन सा? India a capitalist market, it is a socialist market, or it is a mixed economy. इंडिया का economic system कौन सा है? Absolutely. You guys are super smart. पता नहीं हम चैप्टर पढ़ ही क्यों रहे हैं? Everyone knows the answer, right? Everyone knows the answer. Mixed economy है इंडिया की. India has a mixed economy. वही तो पढ़ रहे हैं अभी. But फटाफट से समझते हैं कि what is the difference? Not even a single wrong answer. Okay, it's a mixed economy. That means you guys are super smart. You have studied this. इसको फटाफट से wrap up करते हैं ताकि इस पे टाइम स्पेंड ना करें. Capitalism, where everything is done by money. पैसा राज करता है. The kind of economic system where everything is based on money, demand and supply, right? Everything is owned by people. Every business is owned by people. That is capitalist economy. जहाँ पे सिर्फ लोग business करते हैं. That is capitalist economy. Socialist economy is where everything is controlled by the government. Where everything is controlled by the government. कोई भी business हो, government उसमें interfere करती ही है. Government has full interference in all the businesses in the country. That is called socialist economy. जैसे China. China में government has control over every business. US में people own everything. US government कोई business own ही नहीं करती. बिजली, पानी, production, coal, mining, train से लेके aeroplane, everything is owned by private, by businessmen, by businesswomen, by business people. It is owned by people. गवर्नमेंट इंटरफेयर नहीं करती है, गवर्नमेंट कहती है ठीक है बिजनेस है चलाओ, खुद चलाओ, सबको इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी दे दी, आपको बिजनेस बनाना है बनाओ, गवर्नमेंट विल सपोर्ट यू, दैट इज कैपिटलिस्ट इकोनॉमी। इंडिया इज अ मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी बिकॉज ऑफ लेजिट रीजंस, ठीक है। इंडिया में सरकार गवर्नमेंट भी कंपनीज चलाती है और प्राइवेट लोग भी कंपनीज चलाते हैं। रेलवेज गवर्नमेंट की है, एयरलाइंस प्राइवेट भी है गवर्नमेंट भी है, होटल्स गवर्नमेंट के भी होते हैं प्राइवेट भी होते हैं, राइट। देयर आर टूरिज्म होटल्स विच आर ओन्ड बाय गवर्नमेंट, टूरिज्म मिनिस्ट्री, देयर आर होटल्स विच आर ओन्ड बाय प्राइवेट पीपल, देयर आर कंपनीज इन चैप्टर 3 we'll study which are owned by the government like Coal India, GAIL India, LIC, ये सब गवर्नमेंट ओन करता है, while there are also insurance companies which are owned by private people, Tata AIA, HDFC Insurance, इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज प्राइवेट भी हैं और गवर्नमेंट की भी हैं। इट इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ बोथ। Why? Because India also has a very poor sector of people and it also has very rich and affluent people. It is a growing country. So poor people ko bhi they have to cater to the lower strata in terms of income. They also have to cater to the wants and needs and aspirations, the desires of people who have made money. उनकी डिमांड्स भी पूरी करनी है एंड डिमांड्स ऑफ पीपल हु कैन नॉट अफोर्ड अ बेसिक लिविंग, उनकी भी जरूरतें पूरी करनी है। सो देयर इज अ मिक्स्ड इकोनॉमी इन इंडिया, राइट? यू नो दिस, आई हैव जस्ट समराइज्ड इट अगेन फॉर योर रिविजन, ठीक है? ओके, लेट अस गो टू द नेक्स्ट वन। इकोनॉमिक कंडीशंस की बात करते हैं। इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम्स तो समझ आ गया, इकोनॉमिक कंडीशंस। Now, there are certain factors, there are certain metrics, there are certain markers, there are certain things that tell you about the condition of the economy. देश की इकोनॉमी अच्छी है या बुरी है, ये कैसे पता चलता है? The question is to you, how do you know the country's economy is doing well or not? कैसे पता करते हो आप? If I ask you, Indian economy is going upwards or downwards, how do you identify, how do you know that? कैसे पता चलता है आपको कि इंडियन इकोनॉमी अच्छा कर रही है या बुरा कर रही है? Tell me, how do you identify कि भैया इंडियन इकोनॉमी अच्छा कर रही है या बुरा कर रही है? बरकतुल्लाह एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के ऊपर आएंगे चैप्टर 3 में, यू विल हैव टू वेट फॉर इट। स्टॉक मार्केट इंडेक्स देख लेते हो, जीडीपी ग्रोथ देख लेते हो, राइट? जीएनपी, एनएनपी, जीडीपी ग्रोथ, देन यू लुक एट जीडीपी, लुक एट स्टॉक मार्केट एनालिसिस कर लेते हो, पर कैपिटा इनकम देखते हो, सुपर गुड। जीडीपी हाई देन इट्स डूइंग वेल, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स देखते हो, इनफ्लो आउटफ्लो देखते हो, फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट देखते हो, इंटरेस्ट रेट्स देखते हो, वेरी गुड। ओके, देन यू लुक एट इन्फ्लेशन रेट्स, यू लुक एट इंटरेस्ट रेट्स, इन्वेस्टमेंट। सबसे बढ़िया सिद्राई सिंह, शी वॉचेज इंस्टाग्राम पे देख लेती है, सोशल मीडिया पे देख लेती है, वेरी गुड सिद्रा, गुड जॉब। वैसे सही है, जहां से इंफॉर्मेशन ले लो, बट द करेक्ट आंसर इज नॉट सोशल मीडिया। एग्जाम में मत लिख देना, 0 मिल जाएंगे। While it makes sense, but is not the right answer. Per capita income, national income, low employment rate, GDP, रुपी की वैल्यू देख लेते हो डॉलर की अगेंस्ट, सुपर गुड यार। पर कैपिटा, सेंसेक्स देखते हो आप, निफ्टी देख लेते हो, जीडीपी, एम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट, एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट, पब्लिक पॉलिसीज, ठीक है? लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, ये आपको पता है, ओके? फैक्टर्स दैट टेल्स यू द इकोनॉमिक स्टेट। You have answered it all, right? Gross domestic product, stock market, foreign exchange, interest rate, inflation, foreign trade policy, per capita income, employment rate, export, import, public policy, social media, right? सब जगह से you identify and you do that. Cool. इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी समझ लेते हैं फटाफट से, ठीक है? इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसीज किस किस टाइप की होती है, वेरी ब्रीफली विल टच अपॉन, डिटेल में नहीं जाना है, फाउंडेशन का वैसे ही छोटा सा पेपर है, डिटेल में नहीं जाएंगे। नंबर 1 इज इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी, जो इंडस्ट्रीज को प्रमोट करती है, पॉलिसीज ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट। इट इज मैक्रो एनवायरमेंट में से द बिजनेस हैज टू आइडेंटिफाई अपॉर्चुनिटीज Essentially, the real reason of studying business environment is to identify opportunities and stay away from threats. To identify opportunities, the business understands a macro environment. Within macro environment, when the business wants to understand इकोनॉमिक एनवायरनमेंट के अंदर वो समझता है इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम, इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर्स एंड इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसीज को समझता है बिजनेस बैठ के कि मेरे लिए क्या अपॉर्चुनिटी है, व्हाट आर द अपॉर्चुनिटीज बीइंग created by the economy for my business. It sits down to understand certain economic policies. Within these policies, they understand that industrial policy kya hai, what kind of industries is the government promoting. Let's say the government is promoting handicraft industry, government is producing medical industry or medical product industry, the government is promoting tourism industry. So you understand कि आजकल सरकार क्या चीज प्रमोट कर रही है. Fiscal policy, you understand the taxation policy of the country, you understand public debt, लोन लेना कितना आसान है. Monetary supply, you understand how easy the flow of money is in the country. A lot of people are going digital. लोग आपकी शॉप पे आके आपके बिजनेस को पेमेंट करते हैं गूगल पे से, बैंक से, यूपीआई से, राइट. यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी. हाउ इज द मनी फ्लोइंग. यू हैव टू अडेप्ट एंड चेंज बिकॉज ऑफ दोज पॉलिसीज ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट. गवर्नमेंट इज पुशिंग फॉर डिजिटल इकोनॉमी. हर चीज डिजिटल कर दो. बिजनेस ऑल्सो हैज टू बी प्रिपेयर्ड टू बी डिजिटल. Then foreign investment policy, right? Is the government allowing foreign investment? तो मैं भी foreign से investment ले लेता हूँ. अगर foreign से investment आएगी, that means I will also have competition in the market. So whether the foreign investment policy is good for me or bad for me is what a business has to understand. Export import policy, सरकार ने किस चीज के export पे ban लगा दिया है, किस चीज के import पे ban लगा दिया है. What exports are they promoting, what imports are they promoting at the government in the economy is doing that. That is what the business has to understand. Correct. ठीक है, ले लो 30 seconds, ask me questions. Let's stop for 30 seconds on this economic policies. If you have any questions, let's solve that. Converting threats into opportunities. असली टास्क तो वही है दोस्त. आपको एज एन एम्प्लॉय यू विल गेट पेड. ऑल दीज पीपल गेट पेड 1 करोड़ की सैलरी, 5 करोड़ की सैलरी मिल रही है. क्यों? बिकॉज दे आर चेंजिंग दीज थ्रेट्स टू अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर द बिजनेस. What else? What is fiscal? Related to money, related to expenditure is fiscal policy. RBI से related कुछ भी होगा वो fiscal policy होता है. Okay? Public debt, loan. देश के ऊपर लोन कितना है? That is public debt. How much loan is our country in? Are we a poor country? Are we a rich country? वो define करता है. Why rupee value down day by day? Because of export import policies, because of like our GDP not growing, people not working. Indians have become lazy. That is why your rupee is falling. Okay, we all have become lazy. Simple answer है आपके लिए ये. We are 150 crore people and we are busy sleeping. We are busy doing things which do not add value to the money we have. हम सिर्फ सो रहे हैं, गा रहे हैं, खा रहे हैं, पी रहे हैं, राइट. एंड वी आर नॉट वर्किंग हार्ड इनफ फॉर आवर कंट्री इज व्हाट आई बिलीव. दैट इज व्हाई योर रुपी इज फॉलिंग. सबको छुट्टी चाहिए, सबको वेकेशन चाहिए 2-2 हफ्ते का. No one is concerned about how do I convert my 5 lakh rupees into 15 lakh rupees. आपके पास अगर 5 लाख रुपए है तो आप उसको 20 लाख कैसे बनाओ, ये प्लानिंग कोई नहीं कर रहा है. पीपल आर प्लानिंग 5 लाख रुपए हैं, 50,000 का आईफोन खरीद लेता हूँ. Right? So how is your country going to grow, dost? Harsh truth, right? How export and import are related to levies. Levies होता subsidy, दोस्त. Subsidy तो export import में ही मिलती है. So that is where your answer comes from. CEO and business owner में क्या difference है? साइमा chapter number 3 में अभी पढ़ोगे. अच्छा क्वेश्चन है, होल्ड करके रखो, अभी पढ़ेंगे. Government budget comes under fiscal policy, yes. How EXIM policy affects every very small businesses? It does, Diksha, right? अगर export import policy says you can import goods from China, अभी क्या होता है दिवाली पे, होली पे, अर्लियर दिवाली पे जितनी लाइट्स लगती थी आपके घर सब चाइना से आती थी. स्मॉल बिजनेस, राइट? स्मॉल बिजनेसेस बेचते थे लाइट्स, वो छोटी छोटी 50 रुपए की लड़ी, 100 रुपए की लाइट्स आप लगाते हो अपने घर पे, करेक्ट? वो इंडियन भी तो बना सकते हैं, वो इंडियन स्मॉल इंडस्ट्री भी तो बना सकती है, बट हम सब कुछ चाइना से लेते थे. नाउ एक्सिम पॉलिसी सेज यू कैन नॉट इम्पोर्ट सच गुड्स फ्रॉम चाइना, विच इज हेल्पिंग अ स्मॉल इंडस्ट्री. अदरवाइज अगर हम बोल दें चाइना से इंपोर्ट कर लो, तो वो तो उनके लिए थ्रेट है. थिंक अबाउट एवरी स्मॉल बिजनेस, एवरीथिंग इज अराउंड यू. आपको सिर्फ सोचना है. चैप्टर तो थ्योरी है, ये सब किताबों की बातें आर एक्चुअली हैपनिंग एवरी डे. North Korea is socialist economy. It is not even an economy, दोस्त. It's a dictatorship. वो अलग ही कहानी है. Holistic strategic responses, ज्योति आएंगे? पढ़ रहे हैं इतनी जल्दी? अभी तो हम इकोनॉमी पढ़ रहे हैं, आएगा शांति. I wish Smriti I was so rich. फिस्कल एंड मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी में क्या फर्क है? मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी इज रिलेटेड टू द फ्लो ऑफ मनी, पैसा, कैश, डिजिटल इकोनॉमी, ट्रांजैक्शन से रिलेटेड कुछ भी है, दैट इज मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी. बजट, टैक्सेशन, पब्लिक डेट, लोन, जो बजट आता है आपका, राइट? मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस, द फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर प्रेजेंट्स अ बजट, राइट? दैट इज फिस्कल पॉलिसी. मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी इज ओनली रिलेटेड टू कैश एंड डिजिटाइजेशन ऑफ कैश, वो मॉनेटरी पॉलिसी है. ठीक है? अब चाइना से एक्सपोर्ट कर, चाइना को एक्सपोर्ट करते नहीं, चाइना को एक्सपोर्ट भी नहीं करते, चाइना के पास अपना सामान है. बाला संजय लक्ष्मी, ऑल दीज क्वेश्चंस लास्ट सेशन कि जॉब कैसे मिलेगी, कैसे करेंगे, क्या करेंगे. अभी आप फाउंडेशन में हो. योर फोकस शुड बी मोर ऑन आर्टिकलशिप, नॉट ऑन अर्निंग मनी थ्रू सैलरी, विच इज ऑब्वियसली एन एंड गोल. You cannot deny that. But बताएंगे, I'll give you a fair idea of what happens. If you get a rank, if you do not get a rank, there is a difference in the market. Practical, honest, yes. Difference है तो है. Okay? Cool. I think now we're getting off topic. बहुत ज़्यादा off topic questions आ रहे हैं, so I'll go to the next one because we have to complete the chapter as well. Okay? वो सब answers मिलेंगे दोस्त, but syllabus के अंदर रहते हैं अभी थोड़ा सा. 3 important elements of political and legal. Abhi next component of macro environment, which is beyond the control of the business, is political and legal environment. Political legal environment has 3 components. Number 1, government. Number 2, legal. Number 3, political. ठीक है? Government हम समझते हैं क्या है, legal हम समझते हैं क्या है, political हम समझते हैं हम क्या है. Right? We know what is political, we know what is legal, we know what is government. Okay? Now, government. When changes in the government, a regulatory framework may change aa jata hai. When there are changes in the law, when there are changes in framework, like GST aa gaya, right? Or Make in India, like GST came into picture, then Make in India is happening. Government is promoting things which are made in India. MSME, medium, small and micro, small and medium enterprises. MSME, you should know this. Micro, small and medium enterprises, which are small businesses of India that need to be supported. उनको ज़्यादा promote किया जा रहा है. Which is understanding the government side of political legal environment. The government environment is focused on Make in India, focused on GST collection, focused on small businesses. Legal environment, right? How easy it is for a business, to attract investment from outside, to set up business in India. If it is easy for anyone to set up business in India, more people from across the globe will come to India. For example, Dubai has very easy legal setup for a company, right? Dubai में आपको setup करना is very simple. Dubai mein, if you want to start your company, it is fairly very simple because the legal structure is very easy there. Okay, you can start your company within 10 days. 10 दिन के अंदर कंपनी खोल देते हैं वो आपकी. इंडिया में वो टाइम लग जाता है ज्यादा. इंडिया में लग जाता है 2 महीने लग जाते हैं. Right, you have to submit this document, it will be approved, then you do this, you get that, you make your sign. 15,000 चीजें आपको करनी पड़ती हैं. दुबई में बहुत जल्दी हो जाता है. नाउ इंडिया इज ट्राइंग टू फिगर आउट हाउ डू दे शॉर्टन दिस प्रोसेस. सो लीगल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ योर इकोनॉमी helps define ease of doing business, right? Ease of doing business. कितना आसान है बिजनेस करना. क्या रोज केस हो जाते हैं? कैन आई सू माई कंपेटिटर्स? कैन आई फाइट कोर्ट बैटल्स? ऐसा ना हो कि कोई मेरा बिजनेस चोरी कर रहा है, आई गो टू द कोर्ट और कोर्ट को उसको सॉल्व करने में 20 साल लग रहे हैं, तब तक मैं ही चला गया, बिजनेस का क्या होगा? Is it easy to operate my business in a country, in the economy? If the answer is yes, then it is a macro environment question that a business also understands कि यार यहाँ पे business करना आसान है या यहाँ पे business करना मुश्किल है, right? If you go to China, everything is controlled by the government. Very difficult to do business. सरकार आपसे सारी इंफॉर्मेशन मांगेगी एवरीडे. ये क्या कर रहे हो, वो क्या कर रहे हो, क्यों कर रहे हो, कैसे कर रहे हो, हमें बताओ क्या कर रहे हो. ये लाइक बॉस आपको ही बता देता हूँ काम कब करूंगा, right? So it really depends on the legal aspect of the macro environment. Number 3, political pressure groups, labor union, student union, women's cell, all have become stronger with the passing years, right? Now it is not easy to do businesses because people are aware of their rights. पहले बहुत आसान था लोगों को exploit करना. 10-10 रुपए की दिहाड़ी दे दो. 10 rupees per day पे they are keeping laborers in factories and making them work. Those times are gone. People are aware of their rights. People ask for their rights, right? They tell them that boss, इतने कम पैसे में हम काम नहीं करेंगे, हमें वर्किंग कंडीशंस अच्छी चाहिए. People are focused on their mental health. People are focused on their physical health. Right, it has become more of a political pressure groups. Now employees, labor union, women's cell, student unions, these have become political pressure groups for a business. Now businesses have to be very aware. If a business has 1,000 employees, they need to be very aware. You have to care for the employees, otherwise business की brand image खत्म हो जाएगी market से, right? So businesses have to be very, very careful about the political pressure as well. Okay. अर्षा, ऑफ टॉपिक सिलेबस लास्ट सेशन, सब आर्टिकलशिप वाले सेव करके रख लो. फुल गप्पे मारेंगे 2 घंटे. अभी प्लीज माय रिक्वेस्ट इज सिलेबस पे ध्यान दीजिए, राइट? अदरवाइज इफ दिस इज मिस्ड, आर्टिकलशिप में कभी पहुंच ही नहीं पाओगे. ओके. Awareness leads to political pressure. That is right. Entrepreneur develop program in governed by government. Absolutely. Yes, there is this thing. How to differentiate between political and legal? They seem to be same. They're very different. Very different. Companies act और political में कितना ज्यादा फर्क है दोस्त? Legal is more about companies act, legalities, court of law. Political is these groups which create pressure for the business. Legal, globalization, privatization and liberalization. ठीक है, पढ़ेंगे चैप्टर 4 में. How does Reliance Jio deal with Facebook and Google? अभिनव, मैंने आपको हिंदी में ही समझाया था, वो आप शायद मिस कर गए. मैंने फिस्कल और पॉलिटिक, आपका मॉनेटरी मैंने हिंदी में ही समझाया था. What is meant by sporadic movements? What is sporadic? क्या होता है sporadic? It's simple English. ये तो आपने पढ़ा होगा. ये तो NCERT में भी है दोस्त. ये तो 9th की साइंस में भी हमने पढ़ा हुआ है sporadic. I'm pretty sure 9th and 10th की science book में भी we have studied sporadic development of flowers, sporadic development of mushrooms. We have done that. याद करो. Example, Arshdeep, example simple है. Now think about this. मैंने बोला तो अभी, आप 10 रुपए में, if earlier people were giving 10 rupees per day to the laborers, नाउ 10 रुपए में कोई काम करवा के दिखाए, नॉट पॉसिबल. You cannot exploit people to, like, you can't pay them less, or even people are even aware about child labor now, correct? आप people are not very happy. आप किसी रेस्टोरेंट में जाते हो और वहां पे कोई छोटा बच्चा आपको सर्व करे, you might not feel comfortable, right? You might feel कि यार ये बच्चे से क्यों काम करवा रहे हैं. You might even pick up the phone and call the police. I've seen people doing that, which is the right thing. You cannot exploit kids, right? These are political pressures that are created for a business. Political का मतलब सिर्फ politics नहीं है. Political का मतलब है, it is about awareness about policies. Awareness about policies is political. ठीक है? About your rights. Awareness about the rights. Awareness about the policies. Awareness about what is the right thing to do. उसको political बोलते हैं. आप इसको बीजेपी कांग्रेस समझोगे तो गलत है. It is not politics. It is political. That means related to the policies, awareness about policies and rights. That is political. Okay? I think that makes it easy. And I studied in 1910th. ऐसे कैसे possible है? मैंने कैसे पढ़ा है? And how do I remember 10 साल पहले की चीज? अजय 2 घंटे में किसको ब्रेक चाहिए होता है? 2 घंटे की तो आप मूवी, ब्रह्मास्त्र मूवी 3.5 घंटे की आप देख के आगे बिना ब्रेक के. You watch Game of Thrones without break, back to back. You watch Korean shows, which is that Korean show? I don't know the name. Like it's a long show. Silent Sea करके एक Korean show है, fantastic show. You see without break. मेरी क्लास में आपको ब्रेक चाहिए. ऐसे क्यों? Not happening on a regular basis is sporadic. That is right. Not happening regularly. Your friends are helping. I'm happy that people are helping in the chat, and that is what a proper pure classroom experience is. So good to everyone who is searching and helping. Thank you. What about women's cells? Lakshya, the women's cell bhi to wahi hai, right? A lot of pressure, a lot of awareness about putting women in leadership roles, right? Women are becoming CEOs, CFOs, CXOs, chief of marketing, HR heads, marketing heads. A lot of women are being promoted to leadership roles, to board of directors, to like the top management level पे बहुत सारी opportunities are being created for women. Even in parliament, even in country, even in your house, you would see a lot of opportunities are now being created for women. That is women's cells. Squid Game, Korean show, that was Squid Game. I lost that name. Sanjana, your friends answered sporadic movement. Not moving regularly, not happening regularly. Correct? Let's go to the next one, which is social and cultural. ये समझने की क्या जरूरत है? ये तो हमें पता ही है. Right? The macro factor is this macro factor. This macro factor, which is socio-cultural. This is so general in nature that it influences all the businesses in similar manner. What is socio-cultural element of macro environment? The core culture and social beliefs of a society. Difficult to change. Operate in accordance with them. The business has to operate in accordance with them. The social beliefs of a society. The social beliefs of a society is what the business has to adapt to and operate in accordance with. उसके हिसाब से काम करना होता है. The social beliefs of the society, the cultural beliefs of the society. जो culture है country का, जो social belief है country का, उसके साथ आपको adapt करना पड़ेगा as a business person. That is socio-cultural. That is socio-cultural element. For example, social concerns like corruption. इंडिया में there was a lot of corruption earlier. अभी काफी कम डिस्कशन होता है इसके ऊपर, राइट? इसके ऊपर पहले बहुत डिस्कशन होता था, अब कम डिस्कशन होता है इस पे. इट इज अ सोशल कंसर्न. सोसाइटी का कंसर्न है यार, गवर्नमेंट में जाना तो करप्शन, ब्राइब देनी पड़ेगी, राइट? दिस इज व्हाट द बिजनेस हैज टू ऑपरेट विद. Social attributes like patterns of preference, beliefs, rituals, right? अब मान लीजिए फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू आर अ बिजनेस पर्सन और आप कहते हो यार ये दिवाली होली पे क्या छुट्टी देनी है मुझे, मैं नहीं मानता दिवाली होली में। यू एज ए बिजनेस पर्सन वैसे यार क्या ईद की छुट्टी दूं, क्या दिवाली की छुट्टी, क्या होली की छुट्टी, दुकान बंद करके बैठ जाओ, बिजनेस बंद करके बैठ जाओ, ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता है। योर एम्प्लॉयज विल से बॉस अपना बिजनेस अपने पास रखो, हमारा तो फेस्टिवल है, हम तो जा रहे हैं। You have to understand the social beliefs, the ritual of the society to operate in the business. You might not believe in the festivals, but your employees might, your customers might. You have to value that, you have to respect that. Correct? Family structures, right? Now a lot of people are going outside India, a lot of people are shifting to different cities, living away from their parents. All of this family structure, the culture is changing. When we talk about the culture, it is socio-culture. When we talk about the characteristic of a population, it is demographic. Confuse mat ho jana. Characteristic of the population is demographic. Anything related to cultural change hai, right? कल्चरल चेंज हो रहा है ना. अ लॉट ऑफ ओल्ड पीपल से यार आज का कल्चर चेंज हो रहा है, लड़के लड़की बाहर घूम रहे हैं, सब पब्स में क्लब्स में जा रहे हैं, कल्चर चेंज हो रहा है. दैट इज कल्चर, दैट इज नॉट डेमोग्राफिक, दैट इज सोशियो कल्चर, राइट? दैट इज सोशियो कल्चर. A lot of young people going to pubs and clubs and smoking and drinking. What is this? This is cultural change. There is not demographic change. Demographic वही है, culture change हो रहा है. Correct? So this is socio culture. Education levels, right? Awareness and consciousness of rights and ethics. Social change है. जब सोसाइटी में कुछ चेंज आ रहा है, कल्चर में कुछ चेंज आ रहा है, सोसाइटी इज चेंजिंग, द सोसाइटी इज बिकमिंग मोर अवेयर, द सोसाइटी इज बिकमिंग मोर informed about their rights. Now women are questioning, why should men only do that, we can also do that. Men are questioning equality. They're saying, boss, it is about equality, it is not about women now ruling, it is not about men ruling or women ruling, it is about equality. While women are saying ki nahi, equality means we will be ahead for some time. That's a debate, that's an open debate, right? And it is okay, it is good to have debates in the economy, in the system. Tabhi to aap grow karoge, you'll get insights from people. Some might be right, some might be wrong. This is what education in the society does. It helps you question things, and that is how a society grows. And that is a social and cultural change that the business also has to understand ki acha, now this is a cultural change, this is a society change that is happening. What is an opportunity for me, what is a threat for me, right? And then you build your business around that. Correct? सब चीज को बिजनेस से सोचने का, सब कुछ धंधा है. ओके, नाउ क्वेश्चन ऑन योर स्क्रीन. फटाफट से जाएंगे. कंप्यूटर जी ने क्वेश्चन डाल दिया आपकी स्क्रीन पे. Read this very carefully and answer. Foreign investment policy of the government is a part of which of the following? Is it socio-culture? It is political, legal, which has government? It is economic, or it is demographic? Foreign investment policy is a part of which of the following? Is it socio-culture? Is it political, legal? Is it economic, or is it demographic? काफी ब्रिटिश हो गया मैं. Quickly, I don't see answers. Nice. 99.9% have said economic, and that is the right answer. Awesome. Let's go to technological. सबको पता है, ये तो फटाफट से हो जाएगा. टेक्नोलॉजी इज चेंजिंग एवरी सिंगल डे, डायनामिक एंड डिसरप्टिव. कुछ ना कुछ इनोवेशन होती जा रही है. द बिजनेस हैज टू अडेप्ट वेरी वेरी क्विकली, बट द बिजनेस शुड एनालाइज दीज थिंग्स. ठीक है? व्हेन इट्स टॉकिंग अबाउट टेक्नोलॉजी, when the business is understanding technology, a business should analyze the pressure of technological change. That means क्या जरूरत है भी या नहीं? Do I need to change as per the technology or not? Are opportunities being created because of the technology change? What is the risk and uncertainty of existing markets if I change the technology? What kind of money will be involved in changing the technology? क्या जरूरत है? क्या अपॉर्चुनिटी है? क्या लोग एक्सेप्ट करेंगे? खर्चा कितना आएगा? Simple questions when you're understanding the technological change in the environment. Do I need to do technological change? Pressure of technological change. Are opportunities being created? कुछ फायदा होगा इससे? Opportunities being created, is it beneficial? Number 3, will people accept existing markets? Will accept it, or is there risk and uncertainty that they say boss क्या change कर दिया, अब मजा नहीं आ रहा? Number 4, what kind of expenditure is involved if I change the technology? Okay. For example, with the advent of electric cars का सबसे प्योर एग्जाम्पल है. देयर इज अ प्रेशर ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंज. सब कंपनियों को पास प्रेशर है कि सब इलेक्ट्रिक कर दो, फटाफट से इलेक्ट्रिक कर दो. अपॉर्चुनिटी है, रिस्क एंड अनसर्टेनिटी कम है, पीपल आर एक्सेप्टिंग इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स. R&D एक्सपेंडिचर बहुत ज्यादा है, राइट? स्टिल इट विल बी प्रॉफिटेबल इन द नेक्स्ट 10 to 15 years. So that is how when the technology changes, the businesses understand what is to be done. Basis these 4 questions they ask themselves, right? Absolutely. Facebook से Instagram पे आ जाना. Facebook से Instagram is a change, but अभी भी Facebook पे बहुत लोग हैं. Old people are more on Facebook. Uncertainty. Right? Uncertainty, certainty, uncertainty. Indian accent में uncertainty हो जाता है. In more American and British, it's uncertainty. Right, Harshit? I'm being a little desi English, जहाँ पे uncertainty बोल देते हैं हम लोग. You're right, but there's a different pronunciation हर चीज की. What is R&D expenditure? Super good, Sudhanshu. Who will help Sudhanshu in what is R&D expenditure? Sudhanshu boss पक्का 11th-12th में पढ़ा हुआ है, फिर भी याद नहीं है, ऐसा कैसे? I'm really surprised. You guys have, Abhinav also has this question. What is R&D? Research and development. दोस्त कितनी बार तो पढ़ा हुआ है हमने. Research and development expenditure. या तो आप स्टडी मटेरियल नहीं पढ़ रहे हो, या तो आपने 11th-12th में ध्यान से नहीं पढ़ा है. Research and development, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. A business person can ask these certain questions before they decide to change their technology. Okay. Number 1, current technology being used. How critical are they for operations? What new technology is now coming into picture? Is it viable in terms of return on investment to deploy it? इसको यूज करने के लिए should I convert or transform myself? Should I transition myself to a new technology? Is there a return on investment which is good? Is capital required readily available? पैसे हैं मेरे पास टेक्नोलॉजी चेंज करने के? Efficiency improvement scope कितना है? How will it change my business? How will it bring profits to my business in terms of efficiency? क्या speed बढ़ जाएगी? क्या number of customers बढ़ जाएंगे? क्या मेरी customer service बढ़ जाएगी? What will happen? Right? Correct? Absolutely. Opening a restaurant near a charging station is an example of opportunity. Great, you should do that, right? थोड़ा पैसा लगाओ और मुझे भी अपना बना लेना partner. Good idea, right? So these questions a business needs to ask when it's thinking about changing technology. Simple. We have already studied previous. These are just more in detail. Okay, cool. Let's go to the last factor in macro environment, which is global environment. The world has become one, approachable. You can sell to any country across the world. Anyone in the world can sell things in India. Now the world has become highly dynamic and sensitive. it is increasing competition, it is increasing a lot of opportunities for people, it is also creating a lot of threat to a lot of businesses, but that is how the world is. You have to be global. You have to be outward looking. Inward looking policies are not going to help. You have to be outward looking to be able to sell your products, right? A business which operates globally or has relations that are affected from global events need to gauge the global environment on a daily basis. जब आप एक्सपोर्टर हो, इम्पोर्टर हो, या फिर बिजनेस पर्सन हो जिसका कंपटीशन इज कमिंग फ्रॉम अ फॉरेन कंट्री, you have to be aware of the global environment. You cannot ignore the global environment, which is beyond your control, which is macro environment, right? So it is very important for you to understand the global environment as well. A business should understand and analyze potential positives and negative impacts, like Indo-China relations and TikTok, classic example. Identification of global trends and markets, right? Like India, like people are becoming very Western in terms of health. कि यार whey protein लेते हैं, gym जाते हैं, fit होते हैं, right? A lot of Western culture in running, marathon भाग रहे हैं सब लोग आजकल. Right? People are running marathon, running shoes ले रहे हैं, Western influence आ रहा है. You have to understand the global trend and which is coming to India, and you tap that market. Differences between different cultures and social setups. For example, I was giving masala dosa burger from McDonald's. That is a global environment that McDonald's is also understanding. Global environment के अंदर सब कुछ आ जाता है. Global environment के अंदर सब कुछ आ जाता है. Understanding everything, understanding cultures, understanding social setups, understanding demographics, understanding economic conditions, political, legal conditions, technological conditions of a different country altogether जिसमें आप operate करते हो. Understanding all other macro factors of a new country you're operating in comes under global environment, right? Awesome. Is LPG policy is from which environment? You tell me. It is part of political legal. Government policy थी वो. Exactly. And Western people are going for yoga and meditation. वो लोग इंडिया के आश्रम में आ रहे हैं, उत्तराखंड में, ऋषिकेश में आके आश्रम में रह रहे हैं, और हमारे लोग वेस्टर्न बनते जा रहे हैं. Right? These are global trends. These are global trends. Okay. Abhi, let's get back to understanding the core concept. Question on your screen. फटाफट से solve करो इसको. I want to complete this chapter in the next 15 minutes and then we go to chapter number 3. Chapter number 3 छोटा सा है in terms of ज्यादा उसमें कुछ पढ़ने का नहीं है. It's more of a self-study chapter. So I want to read chapter 3 to give you tricks at least, ताकि आप उसको खुद कैसे पढ़ो वो समझाना बहुत जरूरी है. Okay? पढ़ोगे वो chapter आप खुद ही. I cannot actually teach too much in that chapter, but I can surely give you some very helpful tips and tricks on how to study that chapter. फटाफट से आंसर दे दीजिए for the question on the screen. Okay. Majority of you are saying microenvironment, and that is right. Microenvironment is the answer. Intermediaries are parts of the microenvironment. Okay. Cool. Pestle analysis, जैसे SWOT analysis होता है, ठीक है? जैसे SWOT analysis होता है, SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. SWOT analysis is for internal and external environment both. Very carefully. SWOT analysis is for internal and external environment both. Pestle analysis is only for macro environment. Pestle analysis is only for macro environment. Pestle analysis is only for macro external environment. ठीक है? Okay. Macro environment में क्या क्या आता है? Political, economical, socio-cultural, technological, legal, and environmental. Environmental means nowadays CO2 emission, climate change, global warming, right? So when any person, any business has to analyze macro environment, they use pestle analysis. When a business has to analyze macro external environment, they use pestle analysis. Okay, इतना सही है, इसमें और कुछ पढ़ने का नहीं है. We have studied all of these. पॉलिटिकल, इकोनॉमिक, सोशल कल्चर, टेक्नोलॉजिकल, लीगल, एनवायरमेंट, सब कुछ पढ़ लिया है हमने. बस ये आपको ऐसे याद रखना है. ओके, व्हाट इनसाइड दिस इज द सेम थिंग व्हाट वी जस्ट स्टडीड. ओके, नाउ SWOT for internal as well as external, pestle only for macro. ठीक है. Now the chapter talked about what is business environment. It talked about how do you analyze business environment. It talked about what are events, what are trends, what are issues, what are expectations. It talked about SWOT analysis. It talked about business environment, external, internal. Within external, we had micro and macro. Within macro, there is an analysis called pestle analysis. समझ आ गया, बस करो. But फाइनल चीज एक ये बता दो, राइट? फाइनल चीज एक ये बता दो कि हाउ डू आई रिस्पॉन्ड. एनवायरमेंट समझ तो मैं गया. I have understood what environment is. I will be able to analyze the business environment, but how do I respond to it? Strategize कैसे करूं इसके लिए is what we will study now. Okay, internal, there are two kinds of responses. They are internal responses and they are holistic responses. They are internal responses and there are holistic responses. Holistic means as a whole. Internal means अंदरूनी, अंदर, अपने अंदर क्या चेंज करोगे टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू द बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट. होलिस्टिक इज अपने आसपास क्या चीज चेंज कर सकते हो टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू द एनवायरनमेंट. व्हाट कैन चेंज विद इन योरसेल्फ टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू द एनवायरनमेंट. व्हाट कैन यू चेंज आउटसाइड, नॉट जस्ट आउटसाइड, इन द पेरिफेरल, राइट? Everything, क्या जुगाड़ कर सकते हो to answer, to respond to the changes in the business environment. That is holistic. Internal, अपने अंदर क्या change कर सकते हो. ठीक है, let's get this understood. Three approaches, okay? Three approaches of internal response. Three approaches of internal response. What is that? Okay, number one. You have administrative responses. I'm talking about internal strategies first. I'm not talking about holistic. I'm talking about internal responses. Administrative response, competitive response, and collective response. Okay? Three kinds of responses that you can give to a change in the business environment internally. Number one, administrative, competitive, collective. What is administrative? Administrative response is the most common response to a business environment. It means revising your mission, revising how you do business. आप जैसे business अभी करते हो, आप उसी को change करो, right? Developing objectives, policies, and budgets, right? This can be proactive or reactive. Focus is on defining the organization's purpose. इसको simply याद रखने की एक ट्रिक बताता हूं. Administrative responses means changing how you do business. Changing how you do business is called administrative response. ठीक है, इसको सिर्फ ऐसे याद रखिए, डिटेल अपने आप आ जाएगी. Administrative response is changing the way you do the business. Write it down somewhere, note it down somewhere. You will remember this. The internal strategy, there are three internal strategy: administrative, competitive, and collective. Okay, in administrative, we are saying the way you do business, you change that to meet the changes in the business environment. That is administrative response. Manu, I'm coming to your question after I complete this. Competitive response. You create a competitive advantage. आप कुछ ऐसा कर दो, आप कुछ ऐसा बना दो that the customer values your product more than the competitor. Competitive response में you create a competitive advantage, which means something which is more valued by the customer, right? आपका competitor कुछ बना रहा है, but आप उसमें कुछ और अच्छा कर देते हो. Very simple classic example. Your competitor, there are two halwais, okay, दो हलवाई हैं, right? There are two sweet shops. एक घेवर बना रहा है देसी घी में, राइट? एक घेवर बना रहा है देसी घी में, एक बना रहा है रिफाइंड ऑयल में. The competitive advantage of ghevar, which is a sweet dish, which is a dish, if you do not know, Google it. It's more of Rajasthan based sweet dish. It is made in desi ghee. That is the competitive advantage of that sweet shop. कि यार कस्टमर कह रहे हैं अरे हाँ चलो देसी घी में है, so I can pay more, and that is how you're fighting your competition. That is competitive response. Number 3 is collective response. Collective response का मतलब है you join hands with your competitors. आप अपने competitor के साथ टीम बना लेते हो. You create a team with your competitor to fight the changes in the business environment. The ways you can create teams are called by the way of creating contracts, joint ventures, strategic alliances, consortia, bargaining terms, etc., 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 etc. The business can be creative in how they want to build teams, whether they want to have build teams based on contract, based on joint ventures, strategic alliance बनानी है, एक profit share करना है, cost share करना है, investment लेनी है सिर्फ. How do they want to team up with their competitor is dependent on the business. And that is how another way how you can respond to changes in the business environment. Okay. Now, for instance, CSB and MBA chai wala, right? That is right. CSB and MBA chai wala now teaming up. They're building together or they're competing with each other, right? Whatever the response they're doing, that depends on their strategy. Now, there are 3 ways of doing internal strategies to respond to business environment. Administrative, change the way you do business. Competitive response, do something better than your competition. Number 3, collective, join hands with your competition to fight the business environment or changes in business environment. Right? Consortias, do not get into details, Diksha, confuse ho jaoge. Consortias are a way of building teams with your team or with your businesses, right? With different competitors. एक तरीके का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ही होता है. ओके, कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे, इसको ज्यादा डिटेल में मत समझो. ये इंटरमीडिएट लेवल पे फुल स्ट्रैटेजी हम लोग पढ़ेंगे. ओके, ज्यादा पूछा नहीं जाएगा यहाँ पे. ओके, नाउ क्वेश्चन ऑन योर स्क्रीन. खुशी, टू योर क्वेश्चन. मैंने भी एक क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. सेम क्वेश्चन, व्हाट यू हैड अ डाउट, द क्वेश्चन इज ऑन द स्क्रीन. आंसर दिस. Smriti, again, like I told, joint ventures, consortias, all these are ways of building teams with your competitors. Okay, like collaborations. That is right. Thank you so much. Who said that? Collaborations? I think that helps a lot of others. It means collaborating with others. Joint ventures, consortias, सबका मतलब वही है. Quickly answer this question which is on the screen. What kind of internal strategy have they tried to use? Is it administrative, collective, competitive? और जिसे नहीं यार, I to support junk food, I don't like this strategy. The correct answer is administrative. The correct answer is administrative. It is not collective. किसके साथ हैंड्स ज्वाइन किया, कौन से कंपेटिटर के साथ ज्वाइन किया उन्होंने हैंड्स? किसी के साथ नहीं. किसके साथ टीम बनाया, किसी के साथ नहीं बनाया. They are just changing the way they do business. They're just changing the way they are doing business, which is administrative. The answer is B, administrative. They're changing the way they do business. Cool. Okay, now let's get to the holistic responses to the environment. Internal, administrative, competitive, collective. Holistic responses क्या होते हैं? Number 1, least resistance. Number 1 response to environment, which is holistic, right? Holistic response, overall response. Internally कुछ change नहीं कर रहे हैं. Holistic response means more of a psychological response. आपकी theme क्या है, आपकी इच्छा क्या है, right? If you can make it easy for you, what are holistic responses? These are psychological responses. कि अगर for example, I'll just give you one simple example and then you'll understand कि holistic approach क्या होती है, right? Now think you are a sports person और आपको शोल्डर इंजरी होती है. नाउ वन स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन विल से यार मेरा तो करियर खत्म हो गया, मैं तो अब कभी खेल नहीं पाऊंगा, आई एम डेड, आई एम आउट ऑफ करियर, मेरा जिंदगी बर्बाद हो गई. द होलिस्टिक अप्रोच ऑफ दिस स्पोर्ट्स पर्सन इज नेगेटिव, राइट? ही और शी डज नॉट हैव अ फाइटिंग स्पिरिट. While a sports person who might have an injury might say, इसकी सर्जरी करवाता हूँ, I will exercise harder, 3 महीने में I will be back on the field and I will play for my country. That is the holistic approach of this sports person is a fighter spirit. इसको बोलते हैं holistic response. The psychological theme in your head, the overall psychological concept, the feel in your head is called holistic response. वही बिजनेसेस का भी होता है, राइट? द नंबर 1 इज लीस्ट रेजिस्टेंस. दैट मीन्स लीस्ट रेजिस्टेंस का मतलब है जस्ट मैनेज टू सर्वाइव, नॉट वेरी एम्बिशियस, नो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. जैसे MTNL, BSNL, नोकिया. लीस्ट रेजिस्टेंस, चीजें चेंज हो रही है, थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग अराउंड देम, बट दे आर सेइंग कि ठीक है ना, जो चल रहा है चलने दो, जैसा चल रहा है चलने दो. आई डोंट वांट टू चेंज, आई डोंट लाइक चेंजेस, आई विल डू व्हाट आई वांट. Okay, I will do what I'll continue to do what I do, how I do. If things are changing, let things change. I am least bothered, least resistance to change, right? These kinds of businesses are not ambitious. These kinds of businesses do not undergo transformation, right? These just manage to survive until they die, right? Just manage to survive क्योंकि change ही नहीं हो रहे हैं, फाइटिंग स्पिरिट ही नहीं है इन बिजनेसेस का. इट्स द होलिस्टिक अप्रोच ऑफ द बिजनेस इज लीस्ट रेजिस्टेंट. आलसी है, चेंज नहीं होना चाहता है, राइट? नंबर 2 होलिस्टिक अप्रोच इज प्रोसीड विद कॉशन, right? Proceed with caution. These businesses are very smart. They monitor and identify changes. They slowly adapt to the new environment. धीरे धीरे change करते, सब कुछ ध्यान से समझते हुए. Like a tiger hunts in the jungle, like a lion hunts in the jungle. It looks after everything. कोई कहीं से और तो नहीं आ रहा है. They are focused on the animal they are going to hunt. Slowly, steadily they plan and they keep executing with changes. Right? They consider the environment as a given situation and they react for survival. They keep changing with the environment with time. They keep proceeding with caution. Number 2 holistic strategy is proceed with caution. Like Airtel बहुत aggressive नहीं होता है कभी. एयरटेल इज नॉट वेरी एग्रेसिव, काट देंगे, मार देंगे, प्राइसेस जीरो कर दो, फुल मार्केटिंग कर दो, धोनी को ले आओ, विराट कोहली ले आओ. नो, they don't do that. They proceed with caution. Things are changing in the environment. 3G आया, 4G आया, 5G आ रहा है, इंटरनेट, फाइबरनेट, एक्सट्रीम फाइबरनेट, स्मार्ट टीवीज आए, मॉडेम्स आए, वाईफाई आया. They kept on changing, they kept on changing, they kept on changing slowly and steadily with time. Proceed with caution. Number 3 strategy is dynamic response, right? Like Reliance and Reliance Jio. Dynamic response. ये लोग मार काट मचा देते हैं. They are fighters. They change everything. They are in the market to rule the market, right? They consider that they can control and manage the environment. They think that they will change the environment. Environment cannot change their business. They will change the environment for everyone in the industry, right? They are very confident of their strengths. They try to convert their threats into opportunities, right? This is the third kind of response, holistic, which is dynamic response. So 3 kinds of holistic responses. 1, least resistance, ekdam alsi. Number 2, proceed with caution. Slowly and steadily, they develop and change with time. Number 3, dynamic responses. They are market machane wale, super competitive. They are the leaders in the industry, right? 3 holistic responses. Cool. There's a question on the screen. Very quickly answer. And with that, our chapter number 2 is complete. Quickly answer the question which is there on the screen. Least resistance. That is the right answer. Least resistance response, Nokia and BlackBerry, because they opted for least resistance, right? Cool. A quick summary, chapter number 2, understanding business environment, relationship and influence on the business, data and information, environment scanning, SWOT analysis, internal, external environment, pestle analysis, micro, macro environment, strategic responses to the environment. राइट ये सब हमने चैप्टर 2 में पढ़ लिया. कूल, वेरी गुड. लेट्स टेक 2 minutes for any questions while I open the presentation for chapter number 3. Okay, let me open chapter number 3. Can you guys see the screen? Where is my chapter number 3, bro? Kidhar gaya? Let me share BCK chapter number 3. Right, here we go. Cool. There's a question which says LPG policy affected economy of our country. Okay, then why is it not part of the economic environment? Because it was a government step, Manvi. Everything changes economy ऐसे तो. आप बोलोगे डेमोग्राफिक चेंज हो गया तो देश की इकोनॉमी चेंज हो गई, ज्यादा जवान लोग हैं तो देश की इकोनॉमी चेंज हो गई, तो ऐसे तो डेमोग्राफिक भी इकोनॉमिक होना चाहिए. इफ पीपल आर बिकमिंग रिचर, राइट, people are earning more money, people are becoming richer in your area, the economy of your area is changing. Is it demographic or economic? It is demographic. तो ये तो इकोनॉमिक होना चाहिए, लोग पैसा कमा रहे हैं ज्यादा. No, the characteristic of the population is changing. Similarly, LPG is a policy change by the government. It's a policy change by the government. It's a new policy introduction by the government, which impacts economy. Everything impacts economy, right? Everything impacts economy. But kiski wajah se economy impact ho rahi hai? That is where you have to understand the question. I'm looking like Sunil Grover. Kaun sa? With makeup, without makeup? You're saying I'm looking like a girl? Ye kahan se aaya? What is the difference between competitive response and collective response? Competitive is you fight your competition. कलेक्टिव इज यू जॉइन हैंड्स विद योर कॉम्पिटिशन. कितना ज्यादा फर्क है. आप अपने दुश्मन के साथ हाथ मिला के काम करते हो, आप अपने दुश्मन से दुश्मनी निभाते हो. जमीन आसमान का फर्क है. सुपर गुड संजना. व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ स्ट्रेटेजिक? ये तो हो गया, रामायण खत्म हो गई. आप पूछो सीता कौन है. Srinidhi, what is adios? Adios is Spanish for bye or thank you. रेहान, स्वॉट हमने पूरा डेप्थ में किया है. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन द कॉन्सेप्ट्स अगेन. यू कैन गो एंड वॉच द लेक्चर्स. आस्क मी गुड वैल्यू एडिशन क्वेश्चंस फ्रेंड्स. आस्क मी क्वेश्चंस व्हिच यू वांट टू आस्क कि यार ये ऐसा क्यों होता है, क्योंकि कॉन्सेप्ट मैं सारे पढ़ा चुका हूं. आई वुड रियली अप्रिशिएट थोड़ा सा दिमाग चला के अच्छे क्वेश्चंस पूछिए मेरे से. That will make it more interesting for you also. I look like a hero without makeup. Very good. कौन सा हीरो मुझे भी समझ आ गया. सार्केज्म समझ आ गया मुझे इमोजी से. Is it legal to offer less wages when more people are unemployed? Weber, would you like to be paid less for more work you do? If you are okay, then people will give you less money only. Thanks, Saima. Saima is helping you. Strategy means planning. Lakshita, what is pharmaceutical firm? ये vocabulary issue na is constant across the group. Is what I'm seeing is vocabulary issue बहुत ज्यादा है. Pharmaceutical is related to medicine. इतना तो सबको पता होना चाहिए. If नहीं पता है कोई बात नहीं, stress नहीं लेना है. But it is an eye opener. जरूरत है थोड़ी सी वोकैबुलरी बढ़ाने की. बुक्स पढ़ना शुरू करो. थोड़ा इंस्टाग्राम से निकलो, अपनी शीशे में सेल्फियां लेना कम करो और थोड़ा बुक्स पढ़ो. इट विल हेल्प यू. या इंग्लिश शोज देखो, शो देख लो इंग्लिश, तब भी ज्यादा आएगा. ग्रासियस. दैट्स नॉट ग्रेशियस, इट्स ग्रासियस. ओके, लेट मी सी सम गुड क्वेश्चंस. और कोई हीरो रह गया? और रामचरण बोल दो, जूनियर एनटीआर, केजीएफ का रॉकी भाई भी बोल दो बिना दाढ़ी के, सब बोल दो. ओके, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन कंपनी एंड कॉर्पोरेशन? नो डिफरेंस, सेम. बेस्ट फ्यूचर टू स्टार्ट इन द कमिंग टर्म्स. सबसे ज्यादा बच्चे इंडिया में, बच्चों से रिलेटेड कोई भी काम करोगे दोस्त, बहुत पैसा कमाओगे. डायपर बनाना शुरू कर दो सस्ते, जबरदस्त बिजनेस चलेगा आपका. True, Adya, right? If you watch English shows, your English probably gets a little sense of what kind of words and how English actually grammatically English कैसे होती है, which helps, right? हिंदी भूलनी नहीं है, but English भी थोड़ी strong करनी है. The more languages you learn, the better it is. Collective response is merging with the opponent. That is right. I just gave an example, Divyanshi, administrative ka, change the way you do businesses, right? That is what it simply means. The way you do business, agar aap usko change kar doge, that is your administrative response. Like I gave you an example of Healthy Ram. वो जंक फूड की दुकान है, वहां पे उसने हेल्दी सैंडविचेस रख दिए, सैलड्स बेचना शुरू कर दिया, राइट? व्हिच इज अ चेंज इन द बिजनेस, व्हिच इज एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिस्पांस. कूल. इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसीज एंड लीगल कंप्लायंसेस, हाउ आर द डिफरेंट? जमीन आसमान का फर्क है मांचू. आपका इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी और लीगल तो एकदम अलग चीज है, राइट? इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी क्या होता है? क्रेडिट कितना मिलेगा, इंटरेस्ट रेट क्या है, एफडी पे इंटरेस्ट क्या है. लीगल, उसका क्या लेना देना लीगल से? Right. I gave that answer, Smriti. Can a company, a partnership firm, and an LLP become a partner? Omega, that's a legal question. Can they? They can. There are ways to do that. Not a straightforward answer, yes, but there are ways to do that. Cool. Can we go to chapter number 3? We have 20 minutes left. Let us start chapter 3. Let us at least understand इस चैप्टर को भैया पढ़ना कैसे है. ये बहुत ही theoretical, बहुत ही boring chapter लगता है. The constant thing I hear from a lot of people is बहुत बोरिंग चैप्टर है, बहुत लंबा, इसमें क्या क्या याद करूं? डेट्स याद रखें, लोगों के नाम याद रखें, रैंकिंग ऑफ द कंपनी याद रखें. द आंसर इज यस. द आंसर इज यस. थोड़ा सा याद रखना पड़ेगा, which is थोड़ा सा painful. As someone teaching you this, I agree, it is थोड़ा सा painful, but being part of the syllabus, it is essential because this teaches you about companies, businesses, करते क्या है, होता क्या है. इन सब में you might be like going for employment, you might have these as clients. To understand the business is very important. ठीक है? Let's get to chapter number 3, boys and girls. Do not fasten your seat belts. ज्यादा स्पीड में नहीं जाएंगे, ठीक ठीक जाएंगे. ठीक है? But before that, look at this thing that is on your screen. We did this in chapter number 1. You guys remember this? Give me a yes or a no. All business with least resistance response will not survive in the environment. Is it true? Yes, Diksha, it is. There is a thing on your screen which I also drew in chapter number 1. You guys remember this? Give me a yes or a no. बताओ याद है या नहीं? Quickly give me a yes, 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 yes. Awesome. Awesome. Very good. If you remember, this is something that is going to come in handy. We will talk about, in this chapter, we'll talk about, एक second. Let me just open the markers. कौन सा कलर लें? Let us take yellow. ठीक है, muddy yellow. चलेगा. We'll talk about private companies. We'll talk about public companies, and we will talk about government companies as well. We will also talk about government companies, which is public sector companies. ठीक है? Private sector में दोनों आता है. When I talk about private sector, इसमें private company और public company दोनों private sector में आती है. Public sector में government company आती है. Private sector में private और public आता है. Public के under we have listed on stock exchange and not listed on stock exchange. But these are both private sector. And which is owned by the government is called public sector. ठीक है? Cool. Let's go to the main thing. We'll come to that great question, Bhumika. Why do we call Tata as a Tata Group? पढ़ेंगे. टाटा ग्रुप के अभी है टॉपिक, इसके अंदर पढ़ेंगे. ठीक है? Okay. Now, you would have heard about chartered accountants working under mergers and acquisitions, private equity, stock markets, corporate planning. ये सब करते chartered accountant. Once you become a chartered accountant and you join an industry, you either go into taxation, into audit, or you go into these things which are related to business, like mergers and acquisitions, private equity, stock markets, corporate planning. और जब आप ये सब करने जाओगे तो आपको जरूरत पड़ेगी बिजनेस समझने की. बिजनेस होता क्या है, कैसे होता है, कौन ओन करता है, व्हाट इज एन ओनर, हु इज अ सीएफओ, सीईओ क्या है, डायरेक्टर क्या है, व्हाट इज अ पोर्टफोलियो ऑफ द बिजनेस, व्हाट प्रोडक्ट्स इज इट सेलिंग, टू हुम इज इट सेलिंग, कहाँ कहाँ पे फैक्ट्री है, कॉस्टिंग क्या है, रैंक क्या है, कितनी बड़ी कंपनी है, इसके कंपेटिटर्स कौन है, सब कुछ जानना पड़ेगा. उसको जानने के लिए you will have to understand the company, to understand the competitors, where it functions, what kind of money it earns, what are the competitors, where are the competitors, how are they earning money, where are the factories, where are the offices, what are the headquarters, where was it started, who started it, how did they start it, what is the theme, what is the motive, what is the vision, what is the mission of the company, why are they doing this business, why not some other business, how big are they, what is their ranking, are they top 5 in the industry, are they top 100 in the industry, how are they ranked. All these informations are going to help you to understand the business 10 times, 100 times better. And that is why this chapter is important from that perspective. It might get a little lengthy, it might get a little boring, because there are a lot of companies that are being taught in this chapter, essentially. But it is important to understand why and how to understand a particular company, right? That is how you understand this chapter particularly. इसको पढ़ेंगे कैसे? I'll just quickly tell you in next 10 minutes, okay? We understood what all we are going to study in this chapter: basic information, vision and mission, who are the management people, CEO कौन है, CFO कौन है, what is the history, portfolio of the business क्या है. Portfolio means what all products and services, इन सब की, इनके कौन से products हैं, इनके कौन से सर्विस, क्या सब बेचते हैं. संतूर साबुन बेचते हैं, ट्यूबलाइट बेचते हैं, कॉफी बेचते हैं, टेबल चेयर बेचते हैं, क्या बेचते हैं. पोर्टफोलियो क्या है, right? Organization in the news, what is the latest thing around this company that is happening, we'll study that. ठीक है? Okay. As a chartered accountant, like I told you, once you get into industry, people will ask you for financial advice, for marketing advice, for managerial advice, and उन सब के लिए आपको, it is very important to understand how and why a business is being done. ठीक है? नहीं कहता what is mission and vision, आपने BST में पढ़ा हुआ है, इतना basic question is not expected, but ठीक है, let me explain you as well. ये सब पढ़ा हुआ है 11th-12th में, अभी तो पास किया 11th-12th, right? Vision and mission क्या है? Vision is where you want to go, आप achieve क्या करना चाहते हो लाइफ में, वो आपका vision है. और आप उसको अचीव कैसे करना चाहते हो, वो आपका मिशन है. आप लाइफ में क्या अचीव करना चाहते हो, दैट इज योर विजन. और आप उसको कैसे अचीव करना चाहते हो, हाउ डू यू वांट टू अचीव दैट, इज योर मिशन. ओके, कूल. Let us quickly understand couple of different roles that chartered accountants play in business. Okay, budget analyst, financial analyst, management analyst, and market research analyst. You guys know this, or you guys want me to teach this? Quick question, because most of the times I have seen people know this and I keep on repeating and they're like, yaar aap same cheez padha rahe ho, we know this, we don't want to study this. You guys know these 4 topics, or you want me to teach this? Guys, right? Do you guys want me to teach these topics, or you guys know this topic? Quickly, give me a vote. फटाफट से एक वोट दे दो. थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ा दूं, not in length but a bit. Okay, please थोड़ा सा elaborate. We know this. Teach. ठीक है. Very briefly I'll teach. I'll not go into much details because I think that is what the vote is. ठीक है. फटाफट से समझ लेते हैं बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट, डिटेल्स में नहीं जाएंगे. बजट एनालिस्ट क्या है? बजट एनालिस्ट, देख सिंपल, आपको सिर्फ एक चीज समझनी है यहाँ पे, बाकी सबको छोड़ दो. ओके, बाकी सबको छोड़ दो, सिर्फ ये समझ लो. prepares budgets and develops forecasts based on expenditure trends. कितना खर्चा होने वाला है, कहां से पैसा आएगा, वो बजट एनालिस्ट बताता है. A chartered accountant can work as a budget analyst for a business who explains how much money is required by the company, and from where that company might from where that money that might come. How much money is required by the company based on their expenditure. अगले 2 साल में, 3 साल में, अगले साल, अगले 6 महीने कितना पैसा चाहिए आपको खर्च करने के लिए. That is what budget analyst does. They do not make decisions. 2 topics को याद रखिए. They prepare budgets and they do not make decisions. They just tell you information. Financial analysts, they understand industry vitalities. That means industry की characteristics समझते हैं. They offer business recommendation. They help with course of direction. Financial analysts आपको competitor का data लाके देते हैं. They tell you industry में क्या हो रहा है. What are competitors doing? What is industry doing? What should be your strategy? वो फाइनेंशियल एनालिस्ट्स आपको हेल्प करते हैं, एक बिजनेस को हेल्प करते हैं इन डिसाइडिंग देयर स्ट्रैटेजी टू बीट द कंपटीशन बाय अंडरस्टैंडिंग द कंपटीशन. फाइनेंशियल एनालिस्ट. मैनेजमेंट एनालिस्ट, they work with business leadership. Focus is on business efficiency and profitability. ये लोग असली स्ट्रैटेजी बनाते हैं. ये रिकमेंडेशन नहीं देते, सजेशन नहीं देते. They are actually creating strategies. Management analysts actually create strategies. They actually take decisions with the top management. With the business leaders, they actually make strategies. ठीक है. Number 4, market research analyst. As the name suggests, they answer 2 questions. Market research analyst 2 questions का आंसर ढूंढ के लाके देता है बिजनेस को. आपका सामान कौन खरीदेगा और किस प्राइस पे खरीदेगा. Market research analyst helps businesses in answering 2 questions. Who will buy your product and at what price? आपका सामान कौन खरीदेगा और किस प्राइस पे खरीदेगा, ये बताते हैं मार्केट रिसर्च एनालिस्ट्स. ठीक है. एंड दैट इज वेयर ऑल द 4 आर कवर्ड. बजट, जो एक्सपेंडिचर का बजट बताते हैं, दे रिकमेंड. फाइनेंशियल एनालिस्ट इंडस्ट्री रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं एंड दे रिकमेंड. मैनेजमेंट एनालिस्ट एक्चुअल डिसीजंस लेने में हेल्प करते हैं. मार्केट रिसर्च एनालिस्ट हेल्प आंसरिंग 2 क्वेश्चंस. Who will buy your product and service and at what price? ठीक है. Cool. Ask your questions. I'm here to answer questions only. Go ahead with your doubt. Go ahead with your doubts. If any doubts, quickly ask. टिप्स, इसके बाद टिप्स देता हूं. ये पढ़ लेते हैं, देन आई विल गिव यू टिप्स. ठीक है. If there are no doubts, let me just quickly tell you this. 99% of you asked this question in the last 4 sessions. ठीक है. सब पूछ रहे थे कंपनी, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, कॉर्पोरेट, कॉर्पोरेशन, बिजनेस, इन सब में क्या फर्क है. कोई फर्क नहीं है दोस्त. यहाँ पे मैं बिजनेस भी लिख देता हूँ. ठीक है. यहाँ पे मैं बिजनेस भी लिख देता हूँ. बिजनेस का भी सेम मतलब है. Company is equal to organization is equal to corporation is equal to corporate is equal to business. Coming to that, market analysts make analysis of the market only. They suggest to who will buy and at what price. They suggest that. Do questions repeat in foundation exam? Yes. बाइजूस आकाश इज अ वेरी डिफरेंट स्ट्रैटेजी. वो एनवायरमेंट स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं है दोस्त, वो इंटरमीडिएट लेवल पे आप पढ़ेंगे आशा. ओके. Now, Nifty 50. It is the benchmark index for performance of top 50 companies of India listed on the National Stock Exchange. Nifty 50. Okay. National Stock Exchange 50. So 50 National Stock Exchange की top 50 is Nifty. That means National Stock Exchange का न उठाया, 50 का 50 उठाया, बन गया Nifty 50. ठीक है. National Stock Exchange, the National Stock Exchange of India, there are like thousands of companies there. The SEBI, the National Stock Exchange, in consultation with SEBI, right? SEBI, which is Securities and Exchange Board of India. We will study about that in chapter 4 and 5 coming up, that they decide the top 50 companies of India based on market capitalization. Market capitalization के basis पे top 50 companies उठा लेते हैं. Market capitalization क्या हुआ? Market price into number of shares. Market price, P समझ लेना इसको, into number of shares. Okay, into number of shares को मैं multiply कर दूं, जिन कंपनीज का ये सबसे ज्यादा top 50 है. मान लीजिए मार्केट प्राइस है 500 एंड नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स इन द मार्केट इज 1 करोड़, तो एक कंपनी की मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन होगी 500 करोड़, राइट? इफ द शेयर वैल्यू इज लेट्स से 3000 रुपीज मार्केट प्राइस है एंड द कंपनी हैज 20 करोड़ शेयर्स इन द नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज, तो इसकी मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन कितनी हो गई? इसकी मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन हो गई कितनी बताओ? 3000 into 20, which means 60,000 हो गई. 3000 into 20, 60,000 crores की मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन हो गई, राइट? ऐसे ही टॉप 50 कंपनीज जिनकी मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन टॉप 50 है नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में, उनको निफ्टी 50 बोल देते हैं. एंड दे आर द बेंचमार्क इंडेक्स ऑफ इंडिया स्टॉक एक्सचेंज. कि इंडिया का स्टॉक एक्सचेंज बढ़ रहा है या घट रहा है, उससे हम डिसाइड करते हैं. ओके. समीर, अगर आपने बजट बनाया वो गलत है तो आप बजट को रिवाइज करोगे. रॉन्ग तो हो ही सकता है, क्यों नहीं हो सकता है? आप बजट को फिर रिवाइज करोगे, और क्या, सिंपल, राइट? नाउ वी आर ऑलरेडी एट 1 PM. आई विल क्विकली गिव यू द ट्रिक दैट आई वांट यू टू डू व्हेन वी मीट नेक्स्ट टाइम फॉर चैप्टर नंबर 3. चैप्टर नंबर 3 हम एक सेशन में खत्म कर देंगे. एक सेशन में सारी कंपनीज पढ़ लेंगे, बट उसके लिए आई एम गिविंग यू अ ट्रिक राइट नाउ, and then we will wrap up the session for today. The trick is here. Let me share my screen again. I have something that will help you. ये देखो, आपकी ट्रिक है यहां पे आपके सामने. कहां गया? You can see my screen, right? What do you see on my screen? What do you see on my screen? I'm going to give you the trick to read chapter number 3. And then we'll study chapter 3 in the next session on next Saturday. What do you see on my screen? जल्दी से बता दो. Study material, correct? You see the study module. You're looking at the study material on my screen. इसी के अंदर ट्रिक छुपी हुई है to read chapter number 3. मैं आपको बताता हूं कहां पे है वो. Okay? Quickly. Give me 1 second. I'm just refreshing the chat. Right? Not learning outcomes. The trick is you go to the end of the chapter. End of the chapter में एक ट्रिक दी हुई है. मैं आपको बताता हूं वो छुपी हुई है ट्रिक इस चैप्टर की. इस चैप्टर की ट्रिक है, एकदम एंड में चलते हैं, ये रही. Test your knowledge multiple choice questions. ठीक है? How do you study? Chapter number 3 is, before even you start chapter 3, आपको चैप्टर 3 के सारे क्वेश्चंस पढ़ लेने हैं. You will not know answers to 90% of these questions. You will not know answers to 90% of these questions, right? You have almost 48 questions आपको दिए गए हैं स्टडी मटेरियल में. 48 questions दिए हुए हैं. आप सारे सिर्फ questions पढ़िए. Just read the questions, okay? And then come in the next session. The questions will help you give a clarity कि सब इस चैप्टर में मुझे पढ़ना क्या है. क्वेश्चन में पूछ क्या रहे हैं? Who was the founder of Walmart? When did Microsoft begin its business? What was the initial name of Apple? Who is the current CEO of ICICI Bank? Where are the headquarters of L&T? Who is the CMD of Power Grid Corporation? Right? Which of the following is not a subsidiary of NTPC? My customer first is the vision of which bank? Right? Choose the correct statement about which company the statement is correct. Okay? Match the following companies with their product. Bajaj का product क्या है? Nestle का product क्या है? Which of the following is not a foreign company? Which of the following is incorrect about SBI? Read the questions first. Especially for chapter number 3, सारे questions पढ़ लो. Read all the questions and then come in the next session. Answers नहीं आते होंगे, पता है मुझे नहीं आते होंगे. But the moment you read the questions, you understand, अच्छा ये पूछ रहे हो मेरे से इससे पढ़ने में. Then you study a company and you know, अच्छा ये पूछ सकते हैं, अच्छा ये पूछ सकते हैं. I need to underline this. I need to underline this. I need to underline this. Because अच्छा ऐसा एक क्वेश्चन आया था, अच्छा ऐसा एक क्वेश्चन नेस्ले के बारे में आया था. दिस क्वेश्चन कैन ऑल्सो कम अबाउट लेट्स से एक्सिस बैंक, राइट? कि किसने शुरू की थी, प्रोडक्ट क्या है, टैगलाइन क्या है, विजन क्या है, हेडक्वार्टर्स कहाँ है, राइट? द क्वेश्चन कैन कम लाइक दिस. रीड ऑल दीज क्वेश्चंस. रीड ऑल द क्वेश्चंस. 10 मिनट लगेंगे दोस्त, 10 मिनट लगेंगे, सारे क्वेश्चंस पढ़ लेना. एंड देन come next Saturday and I can assure you 2 घंटे में पूरा चैप्टर दौड़ा देंगे. And you will be like, यार इतना इजी चैप्टर तो कभी पढ़ा ही नहीं, इसमें तो फुल आ जाएंगे, याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है, right? Because you know what kind of questions to come. बिना क्वेश्चन पढ़े चैप्टर पढ़ने जाओगे, you will think that boss what do I have to study इसमें, what will you ask, क्या क्या याद रखूं, क्या क्या याद रखूं का solution ये है, you read the questions. You can go one step beyond. Go to MTP, go to RTP, go to the question bank that are already uploaded, right? And study the questions that have been asked from chapter number 3. Chapter number 3 से कैसे questions आ रहे हैं, पढ़ लो उसको. Chapter पढ़ना इतना आसान हो जाएगा that you'll be like, this is a cakewalk, right? This is what I suggest you to do for chapter number 3. It might be very different how you want to tackle this chapter, but I think this kind of strategy has helped me understanding this chapter very well. And this makes it very interesting as well, right? Because मुझे ऐसा लगता है बड़ा smart feel होता है कि हाँ मुझे पता है अब क्या पूछ सकते हैं इसमें से, right? You start feeling smart and confident about the chapter कि ठीक है मुझे पता है अब ये पूछ सकते हैं इसमें से, पढ़ लेता हूँ, right? Because हाँ ऐसा क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. The moment you know कि examiner पूछ क्या सकता है, what they can ask you from this particular topic, you feel confident about that syllabus, right? And that is my trick for you. With that, let me wrap up this session for today. Already 6 minutes over without a break. Thanks to all of you who are not taking a break with me as well. I speak a lot. I know I should speak less though, but that's good. Right? We have completed chapter number 1. We have completed chapter number 2. We have already begun chapter number 3. Time is flying by. 4 sessions ho chuke hain. We will complete it well within time. And I'm thankful to all of you who are joining and asking all your doubts. I'll stay here for another 30 seconds. Any very confusing or important question that you have, do ask within the syllabus. Concepts, if you want to revise, go and watch the recorded sessions. You can do that. With that, I'll wrap up this session for today. Right. Cool. For all of you who have joined, thank you so much. I'll just wait for another 30 seconds to see if I do not miss any important questions related to the syllabus. Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All of you who have joined, thank you and happy Navratri in advance to you as well. Go and do some Zabardast Garba near your localities if that is happening. Go and dance your hearts out. Eat fantastic food. Right? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye, Shruti. Goodbye. See you next week. Same time, same place. Saturday, 11 p.m. AM, not PM. PM तो कोई नहीं पड़ेगा. 11 AM. Cool. Okay, everyone. Let's wrap up for today. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you again.